content contains strong language and may not be suitable for children. This content is primarily for adults, as this is a trucking channel and truckers have filthy mouths. Please don't tweak if I say viewer discretion is advised.
Sweet.
What's going on? What's going on? What is going on? Come on in. Come on in. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications. Shout out to everybody that's checking in on this Monday evening, March 24th. What is going on? What's going on, Kirk?
What's up, man? What's good? What's good? Same
Oh,
old, same old, man. You know what it is.
Chilling like a villain. Chilling like a villain. Long
Yes,
weekend,
sir.
man. Long weekend.
Yes, it is.
What's the deal? What's the deal? Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications. Man, let's just jump straight into it, man. You know, a lot of people in here already.
Yes, sir.
Too many people to go through a roll call. So, man, let's jump straight into this, man. It was a live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of rubs you the wrong way. Rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Yeah. I was
you know,
taken back.
Yeah, you know, after I went back and, you know, I was in the live stream, so there was a lot of things that, you know, once I went back and watched it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I kind of got a sour taste in my mouth. You know, one thing that a lot of people have been complimenting me for is my patience in that live stream and
Right.
how reserved I was, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that was because of you know, the confusion because I just didn't understand it, or
Mm-hmm.
you know, I just, you know, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, but I don't know. We gonna unpack it, so.
Right. Yeah, you know, it's a lot, and you know, coming from when you get certain conversation you know, put in front of you, especially by a person that is not articulating it well, you know, it tend to rub you the wrong way because there's so many unanswered, you know, question, and it just make a person look, you know, at the end of the day you never really accomplish anything. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that's why you have so much unanswered question about, you know, I watched the live, and you know, I spoke to you the following morning.
Mhm.
Everything in the comment section under that video, I told you before it was put there,
Mhm.
right?
We talked in the morning, and then we talked in the latter part of the day. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
in the latter part of the day, you put a lot of stuff into
And when I
perspective.
break it down to you and
Uh,
you read the comment, I'm like, what do I told you? You see what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
So let's get into it, because again, you know, and I want to say, you know, before I even start, you know, I said it on my channel. You know, I was a deacon in the church. You know, see what I'm saying? I was an ordained deacon at Christ Like Worship Center in New Jersey. You get what I'm saying? I used to open the service for the pastor. I used to do Sunday school. I used to do evangelism with the pastor. So the Bible is not something that, you know, I just go on YouTube and just watch pastors and then try to quote scriptures, or you get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I was ordained as a deacon. You know, I got a certificate somewhere in my house. Um when I was presented with my, you know, the same church I was baptized in, I was ordained as a deacon. So, you know, when I watched the CJ conversation with you, I can tell you a lot of stuff, you know, and we're gonna get into that later on.
Mhm.
I could tell you he's not ordained. He's not under leadership, which a leadership means pastor. He's not a member of a church. All right, because if you were a member of a church, then at the end when he asks you, well, what is a church, what that means. So I can tell you, he's not in a church. He's not under leadership. He's not a minister. He's not a deacon. And so a lot of the stuff that he comes and say to you, in biblical terms, it would consider blasphemy, because at one point he referenced to you as I was sent here to do this. He said that in the live, and we'll go through that in a minute. And that's something you got to be careful of, because in the book of Corinthians, Paul talk about the church and how the church is set up and who should be ministers, deacon, evangelists, apostles, all of that stuff. So whenever you said that you are sent, that is a high charge, because one thing with God, he doesn't play about the word and the scripture. And when you make statement like I was sent here to tell you this, you're taking on that responsibility. You know what I mean? And that's something that you got to be careful of. And this is why a lot of the stuff could not articulate. When God sends someone to speak to someone about an issue or speak into someone's life, they're not gonna leave with any confusion, no anger, no bitterness. I mean, you were angry, and the comment section was angry. So nobody wasn't really making sense, but what he was trying to say. You know what I mean? So I want you to don't feel guilty like you do something wrong, or you know what I mean, and don't feel like he was sent by the Holy Spirit, or he was sent by God to pass judgment. There was a lot of judgment statement that he made, which was another thing that the Bible said, let he that cast the first judge make sure that you take the plank out of your eye so you can see clearly to take the plank out of someone else's eye. And clearly he is not seen clearly to even speak to you, much less to pass judgment against you. So we're gonna get into it, and and I want to say this to you, Mark, and I said it to you. That was one of the first thing I said to you when I spoke to you. And Jesus said in the book of Matthew 24, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I'm the Christ, and deceive many. And that's something that you got to be always looking out for. You know what I mean? People will come and says, well, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the apostle, I'm the prophet. You see what I'm saying? And like he said, I was sent to speak to you. No, he wasn't. Because majority, and I'm gonna say this before we have a lot to unpack, but he been watching you for a long time, and there's an underlying contentment he have against you. And I can tell you this from watching him. I watched this, I spoke to you yesterday again, and my wife, we were watching this thing. We watch it so much, but I can tell you this: there's an underlying contentment, not from just the video that you review, but previous videos. And I can tell you that he been have an issue with you. He just did not know how to get to you. And I think when the opportunity of you reviewing the video was that haha moment, here I go. And that's why in the video, what he was posting towards you, he said, well, it's not going to go like you think it was. A person doesn't say that if they don't constantly watching you. They have to be watching you, taking notes. Yeah, I'm going to come for you, but it's not going to turn out the way you think it's going to work, because I watched it before. You see what I'm saying? And so when you hear people make certain statements, they've been have an issue with you. You see what I'm saying? I know what the issue is, and I've been telling you about the issues, but he weaponized religion to attack you, because if he was coming from him himself, CJ, then one, he would have to justify it, being that he's a Christian, and two, it would make him look bad speaking from a biblical point of view, casting judgment on you. Does that make sense? So he used religion, and that's why I said, Mark, you ain't the one that make you be where you are. That's breaking a person down. The Bible said that faith without works is dead. So everybody knows God gave us the grace and the opportunity to do whatever is present to us. God gave us all of those stuff that we have as human being, all the privilege, opportunity, you know what I mean? Whatever we have to do to make it where we are, God gave us those opportunity. But if we don't use our own strength as a man and woman to make use of those opportunity, that's where faith is. You're useless. Faith without works, you're dead. You know what I mean? The bottom line is, it is you that let you be where you are as a person with the help of God. You see what I'm saying? Because without God presenting the opportunity and you taking that for, the step to make those opportunity come alive. The Bible talk about the seventh, the seven talents, where they give, the Bible said we give one guy $200,000 and tell him go invest it, and we give another guy 200, and it tells you what all of them take their money and do. You see what I'm saying? So we gonna get into it, man. I know I say a lot, but
No, it's cool because here's the thing. In the midst of that live stream, I thought we were going to talk about insurance and licensing, and when it went that way, it was just like a lot of confusion, and I got out of it, unscathed. But there was points in the live stream where I said, well, let me know. I was questioning. I said, look, man, I'm not ashamed. Articulate it. You know what I'm saying? Explain to me. And whatever it was from the biblical standpoint that he was trying to tell me, I never got it. Right? So once I exited that live stream, there was confusion on what took place, but then it was confusion. I was conflicted on what was he trying to say. And there was only one person that I could think of that, two people that I could think of that could kind of help me unpack it. And, obviously, who the first person was. It's my mama, you know what I'm saying? She knows the word. And I was hesitant about, because she doesn't watch this channel. She doesn't watch this channel, and, if I would have showed her this, she would have, I already know what this, everything you told me, you see what I'm saying, is what she was going to tell me. Because she's been telling me this for a long time in different situations. Like I've had situations not like this, but not dealing with religion, and what you told me that morning, and that's what she would have told me. But I don't, she thinks that when I get up here and I talk, it's from an educational, because it is from an educational standpoint, but she doesn't see the scrutiny. I don't tell her about it. I don't tell her about all the shit that you have to put up with as a content creator. Some of these battles that I have to go through, and some of the shit that and I know that she doesn't know. So when you contacted me later on that day, there was a lot of answers that I was searching for, which he came to this channel and opened up a door. And then when I asked questions, he couldn't answer them. Right. So it was a lot of answers. It was a lot of confusion. But when you called me the second time, let me get this off. A lot of the questions that I had, you answered them without me asking. You see what I'm saying? So I want to take the time, because I know we've had our, last year we had our ups and downs, but I want to take the time and thank you for that. You dig what I'm saying? Because I didn't call you. You called me, and I was conflicted. So I appreciate you calling me, and I guess you were led in every single moment. Like down when I was talking about, like, I'm a Baptist, and I was told that that don't mean nothing and all this stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
that
All
that
of that
that
is
that
wrong. All of that, and that's what I'm saying. It was using religion as a weapon. You know, John the Baptist is the one that baptized Jesus Christ in the Jordan River. So for him to say baptism doesn't mean anything, that just let a person like me knows that he doesn't know scripture, and that's what happened when you doesn't under a leadership. Even John the Baptist baptized Jesus. So Jesus was baptized. And Jesus was the one that told us how we should baptize. You get what I'm saying? So it just, and I'm going to tell you, you know, we know you're watching, CJ. My wife, yesterday we were watching again, and I told you we watch this thing so much. And my wife said, yes, CJ is the devil. You get what I'm saying? He's just straight from the pit of hell. And that's why I'm saying you got to be careful when you talk, especially not you come and you judge a individual. Now, let me clear up what he was trying to say to you so the audience can understand what he was trying to say. What he wasn't saying anything, actually. I'm going to explain to you what he was doing. You see what I'm saying? When he was telling you that you, Mark, when he was describing you and said you are not where you are because of your ability, when he was emphasizing that, what he was doing, he was breaking you down. But he was doing it in a religion form. It kind of like taking a man credit from them and then said the credit you have was given by God. You see what I'm saying? Which it is ordained and positioned by God for you to be in the position that you are. You get what I'm saying? But the credit for where you are, it still have your manly ability to get there. You get what I'm saying? So what he was doing, he was trying to remove your ability and said that basically you're a nobody. That's what he was doing. I see your channel. This is why even one point, I catch all of that. He said even your channel was given to you. So everything that you work and stand for, he remove it and then try to say, well, you're a nobody if it wasn't for God. And that's using religion as a weapon. And that was wrong. And it's actually blasphemy because then you're using, that's why when he tried to quote scriptures, like he said, the Bible said, let your light shine. He never really tell you what that means. And he never really break it down. Let your light shine so man may see and glorify your Father which is in heaven. It means that you, Mark the mentor, I've make an example. And when someone said, Mark, how you get there? I said, man, I thank Jesus Christ for where I'm at today. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for my mama praying for me and the Holy Spirit, I wouldn't have get here. They would have listened to that and glorified Jesus in heaven. That's what that means. But he gives you these talking points and never really gives you the finished part of it. And that's why, you got to be careful when you talk to people about religion. Another thing I have a big issue with, the part where he questions your Christianity, but then he says he's not judging you. He is judging you. He is judging you because the fact that you repeated telling him that I'm a Christian from 1989, my mama is a Christian, it doesn't matter to him. In his eyes, if he doesn't qualify you to be a Christian in his eyes and the way he thinks you should be moving on the internet, then you're not a Christian. That's what he was trying to explain to you. And that's why I said he's not sent, because when you sent to speak a word or speak to someone about any form of religion, especially when you say you were sent, the Bible says we have a mandate on our life. That means everything you speak out of your mouth is going to be judged heavily, and you as the messenger, not the sinner. So when he said, I was sent to you, that's a lie. He was not sent to you. He have a personal issue with you. He did not know how to articulate, telling you from a personal point. He didn't want to look bad. And so he used religion try to make it seems like he's speaking to you from a gospel point of view, but constantly attacking you in so many ways, and that is wrong. And this is why, and I'm going to say it, y'all know me, but this is why people like him always fail. Now let's talk about the insurance stuff that he has a problem with. We walk by faith and not by sight. I heard you break down the insurance company and said, yeah, they're supposed to make money. If I'm a believer in Jesus Christ, why am I worried about what the insurance company make? Jesus said, if you pray to the Father and the Son, anything you ask shall be given to you. You see what I'm saying?
Hold on. Let me stop this. Let me stop this. For everybody that's telling me to move on, nobody was there, or nobody DM'd me. Nobody reached out to me, because what happened was I kept asking the man. I didn't bring the religion stuff over here. I wanted to talk about insurance and licensing. Now, when the religion stuff came over here, and there was a lot of unanswered questions when I asked, explain it. He couldn't give me the answer. Nobody reached out to me and asked me, hey, Mark, did you want to talk or come to me from and give me the answers that I was trying to ask or look for? Because then you're telling me all this stuff from a religious point, but then you're not telling me, and I'm steady asking you to give me the answers. Now everybody's saying move on.
Yeah.
Now everybody's saying, or a few people are saying move on. But I was looking for the answers. If you don't believe me, ask the people that were in the Discord Friday. Ask the people who were in the Discord Saturday. Ask the people who are in the Discord today.
Right.
It was fine when someone came over here and attacked me. And I respected the dude. If you go look through the comments, a lot of people, Coasters, you telling me to move on, but then you complimenting me on my patience in the Discord. But in the live stream, I said I'm a Christian. So was I supposed to move on after the live stream and not question what just happened? Like I'm not looking at that shit like, damn. Of course I am, because man, what was that? What was that about? I said in the live stream, I'm not well versed in the Bible. Explain it to me. He couldn't explain it. So I had to go seek the answers. And I was conflicted. It was only one person I could go to. I said, man, if I go to mama going to talk to me. And then you know what mama going to tell me to do? Somebody in the chat, what mama going to tell me to do? What mama going to do with me? It was only one thing she was going to do. She was going to talk to me, but it was something that was going to come behind that. There's only one thing that was going to come behind that. Nah, she was going to say stay away from him, but it was something that was going to come behind that. There was an action that was going to come behind that. She was going to take me I was going to have to go talk to the pastor. Still going to go talk to the pastor. Because I got it ain't about go to church and pray. She was going to say, man, you need to talk to the pastor. Same thing. It wasn't prayer. I was going to have to consult with the pastor. See, I told the man I had a praying mother. And that means something. It went over a lot of people's heads.
Yeah.
I said I have a praying mother. What happens when you have a unruly sibling who's just done a lot of bad things? Because I have one. What's the saying? What's the old saying? What's the one thing that kept him alive? Or what's the one thing that kept him safe and kept him alive? A mother's prayers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now you want me to move on? Nah. Because didn't nobody reach out to me. And break it down, because from my understanding, based on my research, that if you bring the word or the gospel to someone and they have questions about it, you're supposed to be able to answer them questions. But yet and still, I steady asked him questions and he couldn't articulate himself. So guess what? That left me confused. Left me conflicted.
Sure. Yep.
There was only a few people, and I can count on one hand and how many fingers that was left over that knew that. And Kirk was one of them. He wasn't the only one. It was a few more. But I had some fingers left over. And they recited the same scripture. So to all those people, no one answered the questions that was left unanswered.
Mm-hmm.
You got the floor.
Yeah, like I said, man, it is going to be, some things is going to be in some people's eyes, it's not a big deal. Uh, it was very disrespectful for him to come up here, question your religion, use religion as a weapon, and see, a lot of time it's easy for someone to say move on because it's not them. You get what I'm saying? They're not in a position, so they don't understand what a person might be feeling or going through. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes it's not even about the feelings, it's just the principle. You came on a platform, and you know, many people wouldn't tolerate that, but you came on a person's platform, and then it's like you question their, you proceed to tell them that they're a nobody, pretty much. You question their faith, you judge them by their faith level, saying that, well, baptism mean nothing. In so many ways it's just disrespectful all over. And I think people need to realize that you got to call things out the way it is, and don't just sweep it under the rug, not because it's not you. And uh it's one of those things where, you know uh people are grown but they're not grown. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of words that people use sometime, I watch this CJ thing, and I can tell you he's not a Mormon, because if he was a Mormon he would have been more articulate in the words that he used, because Mormons are very, when it comes on to speaking about, Christ and the Bible. He's not a Catholic. He's not from the Catholic faith. Um, he's not an Hebrew Israelite either, and he's not a Jehovah Witness. I see a couple of people say he's a Jehovah Witness. No, it's not. The reason why, all three of those people, all three those different, level of Christianity that I speak about, they know the word and they would have the word ready. I heard you ask him one time. You said, "Oh, what is the thing y'all pastor go to church for? What is it called? Is it theology? And he's like, oh, I don't know. It is theology. You see what I'm saying? So again, he comes and he's saying stuff, and then when you ask him about question, he doesn't. Then you ask him question and he doesn't know. So but then he says he was sent here. You see what I'm saying? He was sent here. So God is not going to send someone that is confused, and the Holy Spirit is going to be with you. You see what I'm saying? He's the one that take it up on himself to come and speak to you. And this is why when you kept saying, keep it on the content, it has nothing to do with the content. He has a personal vendetta against you for whatever reason. And he felt like, and I you know what? I'm going to say this, Mark. I'm going to check this out. A lot of time, because you're young, you retire, we talk about this all the time, but I've been telling you this. A lot of these older persons, CJ is he didn't want to tell you his age, but he's, a little over 50. He's probably about 52, 53, right? He got some age in him, right? A lot of times people will watch you and you're young, you retire. And for whatever reason, they never figure out what they wanted to do in life. So they saw that, at 48, 50, maybe 52, they just figuring out, hey, I can really make money by using this gig hopper or start this business. And so they're so far behind that they look at you who are so far apart from them ahead. They have this, it's like everything that you do, it bothers them. You see what I'm saying? You're 45, they in their 50s, and it's like, damn, that should have been me. It's an envy, it's jealousy, it's hate. It's a lot of stuff. You see what I'm saying? And so sometimes people watch you and they develop these feelings, and they try to figure out, how can I come and tear this person down? Because that's what he did. You really come over here, and that was his intention, to tear you down, to see how he can make you look beneath him, below than you think you are. And that's why he used scripture. He used religion. He tried to use scripture, which he never give you a full explanation. And when you ask certain questions, this is why you weren't getting an answer. And I'm gonna tell you this: when you ask him to explain to you, the reason why he couldn't explain to you is because he cared about what the people in the chat was saying. And that's why he said, man, I'm gonna talk to you behind the scene. No, if you were sent by God, you would have talked in front of 200 people. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about, you know what I mean? It's about him tearing you down, making you feel like you're a nobody. And that's what he's getting a lot of backlash for, because a lot of times people do that, and it turns out they end up, it doesn't work out for them. You get what I'm saying? But and I want to say this while I'm on this topic about these content creators, people got to stop watching other people and worry about them being home. You get what I'm saying? Listen, you figure out how you gonna get off or don't work. It's up to you. You gotta stop being so jealous and envy of somebody else, because y'all got your own life going on. You see what I'm saying? And if somebody is decide to do whatever they want to do, that's their prerogative. Why so many people mad? I have no idea. But it was wrong. It was deliberate. He was planning this for a long time. I'm telling you. He did not smile at you, because even when you were cracking jokes, the reason why he wasn't smiling is because he had an intention, and the intention was to bring you at a place of submission where you tear down a person and bring them beneath you. That's the whole object of him being up here. You see what I'm saying? Now I hear him say he's gonna reach out to you and call you. Listen, that's the last person you want to be friend with. I'm telling you that right now. Everything I'm telling you in public. Don't take no phone call from him, no text message, no email, because he's not here to be around you for your best interest. It's too much envy and hate going on. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, to use religion to weaponize, it's crazy. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, it was a lot of unanswered questions that I had. Like I said, and I was confused. You know it. I talked about it in the Discord. Though the whole Discord from the moment by the time it ended that live stream, and I cut the lights off, shut all the equipment down, cut all the lights off, the camera, shit like that, which took about probably 2 minutes. I looked in the Discord and it was already like 40 people in there. And the conversation went on all night. I got off, talked to my girl for about an hour till she went to sleep, got back on maybe at like 12:31. They were still in there talking about it all day. Next day, like Rich from Chicago were in there, and they were just talking about it, pointing out stuff like you were doing. I mean, if you look at the comments from that live stream, like it was the whole topic, even today. And I've said the same thing to you. I've said the same thing to them. I was so much confused and so many unanswered questions. Then it started to anger me. Because if you come, if I come to you and I'm telling you you're doing something wrong in business, like for instance, we're just going to use that for an example. I'm telling you you're doing something wrong and I can't give you the solution, then that's going to leave you puzzled, right?
Right.
So you're coming to me with something and I'm constantly asking you. And you just saying, oh, well, but then I'm finding out from his subscribers, because his subscribers were angered by that too. And they say that's something he always do. He'll start something and then I'm not going to tell you. Or he'll start to mention something and then he'll say, I'm not going to tell you. Or I'll tell you later. Like, dude, what type of stuff is that? You came over here, you attacked me. I kept it G. A lot of people in here are saying, man, Mark, you should have did them. People in the comment section where, man, you exercise a lot of patience. People in the Discord. And here's the reason why I didn't treat them like you would expect me to do when you see me going to these debates about business. Man, religion is a touchy thing, and I'm not going to go ham on somebody and religion is the topic. I didn't come there to talk about religion. I came there to talk about insurance and licensing. My reaction was to insurance and licensing, not the individual. I don't talk about men. Where I'm from, we don't talk about men. We don't react to men. I will never tell you what I think about you as a man, especially if I don't know you.
Right.
To me, that's sucker shit, bro. All right. So when it went in the direction it went to, and I'm going to keep it a buck with you. If I see somebody already defeated, I'm not going to put my foot on their neck and I'm already seeing they defeated. When he couldn't articulate himself, it's like nothing for me to do. It just defeat itself. But now I'm trying to figure out what was the purpose, why. So I don't know why people think I was supposed to just walk away from that and not try to get answers on what just happened, especially when, man, because here's the thing, what you just called them, shit, that crossed my mind. I ain't gonna say it didn't. I tell a person, look, I'm a Christian. You tell me I'm whatever he told me. If if you watch my content, I always thank God. I thank my God and my OG. I literally just did a live stream about a month ago. And in that live stream, the people who watch me know, I was telling the story and I talk about how my mom would come to the yard and bless the trucks with holy oil. And whoever was in the office, she'd come in with that little bottle of holy oil. And she'll do like this to everybody who was in the office, and whatever trucks were there, she would do it. I just told this story literally about a month ago in a live stream.
Right.
I ain't never had nobody do what he did.
Right.
That shit was the weirdest shit that I've ever encountered in my life. The weirdest shit.
Right. Right.
That shit was weird, man.
Yeah.
So I
it's a lot of it's a lot more than just what it's a lot more than just the content. And he kept reference to you to Romans, the book of Romans 1 and 2, and he kept telling you about not paying tax. Jesus says, render what belongs to Caesar, or render what belongs to God, render it to God, right? He said that he doesn't follow the world system because it's paganism. Paganism derive and paganism. Let me give you short terms. The all-seeing eye. That's a paganism. When you see people reading, tarot card, that's paganism. Worshiping to idol, that's paganism. All of that come from the Roman Empire, the Roman system. And Caesar was, at the time of, Jesus with his ministry, Caesar, because even in the Bible, when they go to Caesar and ask Caesar about, when the Jews ask Caesar, what should they do with Jesus? Should I persecute him? Caesar went out and asked the people what they want. So Caesar said, I don't want no blood of this man hand on my shoulder. You see what I'm saying? So there was a mutual respect between Jesus and Caesar at that moment, that he wasn't the one that, and he was the king at that time. So when he says that, and I'm like, what is he talking about? You get what I'm saying? And then he says you pay interest. That is a sin. Okay, again, it goes back to the tax and the interest. The system is the same. The tax and interest doesn't separate the system. They're not two different systems. You get what I'm saying? So when he's saying, well, when you buy a house, you're not supposed to pay interest on the house, we're talking about the same system. It's not two separate things. You get what I'm saying? So again, it goes back to what I'm saying. A lot of things he said to you, I can tell that he's not, because he's not under the covering of a church, and he's not under the covering of a pastor or apostle. He's trying to do the things on his own, and that's why when he tried to explain to it, there's a lot of and because it's still him. It's not led by the Holy Spirit. It's not led. He weren't sent by God, because if he was sent by God and was being led by the Holy Spirit, a lot of he would have been saved a long time. And that's why he cannot articulate, because he comes with confusion. Him himself is confused, because like I said to you when I was talking to you, if he's paying insurance but it's a scam, well, let me ask you this question, CJ. Well, what if you have a accident tomorrow and you lose a foot? Would you sue the insurance company, or are you gonna say, I'm not suing them, it's a sin? You see what I'm saying, Mark? Again, he lacked the ability and the knowledge, the wisdom is not in him. And that's what happened when you take it up on yourself to go and try to speak to someone about something and then question their faith, when you yourself don't even, you're not even worthy of speaking to them. You get what I'm saying? And that's why you're left with so much confusion. And let me say this. He wasn't even only casting judgment on you. He was casting judgment on the people in the chat. He was calling out the people in the chat also, because he said at one point, your viewers, you should be leading your viewers. So even the people in the chat was being judged at the same time while he was judging you. You get what I'm saying? You got to be careful when you start to speak certain things, because again, you know, and I told you this. I went on his channel. I went on his channel. The way he proclaimed to be, or what he wants to be, because to be honest with you, I'm gonna tell you, he's nothing. I'm gonna just tell you right now, he's nothing. But he doesn't have any scripture put in front of any of his videos. So, you know, he put like a scripture, or you will hear him praying, or there's no scripture at the end, thanking God. There's nothing. So that's what happened when you're a hypocrite. It's easy to call the next person out, but you're not demonstrating on your own platform. You got 20,000 subscribers, right? Almost 20,000 subscribers. Again, he was telling you, I don't care. I'm going to say what I got to say, even if I got one person saved tonight. But he's over there in his channel not doing any of that. It's such an hypocrite to come and call the next person out, but you're not doing. That's why Jesus said, you got to take the plank out of your eye first, so you may see clearly to go and take it out of somebody else's eye. So he's telling you how your channel should have set up, how it should look, the type of content you should put out, yet he's not doing it. And that's why a lot of people don't go to the black church, because there's too much hypocrite. It's too much double-sided.
Well, I mean, a lot of people go to church. I don't want to get into, you know, I don't want to veer off the content.
But listen, wait,
right?
Let me say this. Let me say this before. Wait, let me put this one thing in. Wait, let me put this in. Go ahead. Before I lose it. The reason why I said that, listen, you remember DMX? Remember DMX, right?
Yeah, but I don't want to, listen.
No, listen, you remember DMX,
Hold on. I do, but let me say this before we go any further.
Yeah.
I don't want to veer off the topic, right? Because there's already a lot of confusion, and I still have to I'm going to have to go to moms. I'm going to go to the pastor. Now, I'm going to say this. Do I think what he did was wrong? Yes. It was malicious. There was no good intent behind what he did, right? I still have to go and talk, right?
Right.
Because I have to talk to someone ordained, right? But there's still a lot of unanswered questions. This thing has been going on. There's people still leaving comments. It's still the number one topic of discussion in my community.
Yeah. Right.
I think he dropped a video and they're trolling him under his comment. Like, a lot of people are angry. You know, I'm still conflicted. It's still confusion. I'm for certain that what I am for sure about, it was done maliciously.
Yeah.
It was done. There was no, I don't care what nobody say. There was no good intentions behind that. There was none.
Yeah.
All right.
There's none.
So I showed him mercy.
While he didn't show you any.
He don't gotta show me none. Listen, let me explain something to you. Where I'm from, let me check it. Let me tell you like this. And I don't want people to look at the troll. The one person that he was on his side the whole night. I called him a nice guy. And he took that the wrong way. Right. Now, let me tell you this, because Big Mark gonna always keep it 1,000 with you.
Yeah.
When I said he was a nice guy, it was based on the few videos that I seen. Had nothing to do with him being a sucker and as a man. I didn't judge his man. I said he's a nice guy. From the content, he expresses himself. He's talking about his family. Seemed like a nice guy. He took it as I was preying on him and saying he's weak. Now, I'm looking at it Like, why do you keep reiterating this shit? Like, bro, I
Mhm.
explained it to you. If I thought you was sweet, I'd just say you sweet. Now,
Right.
based on what happened the other day, now I think that. See, I'm going to tell you what I think. You ain't got to worry about it. Based on what the move he played the other day, that was some sucker shit. See, I tell you.
Right.
When I said I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. Ain't nothing wrong with being a nice guy. You could tell me I'm a nice guy and I'm not going to feel like you shitting on me. Where I'm from, like, dude, what? I call him a nice guy.
Right.
Like, to feel like he's implying I'm weak. No, I would have just said you was a sucker. I would have said you sweet. I got buttons for niggas like that. That's already queued up.
Goofy as hell. Yo, goof ass.
Nigga, I'm already, nigga, if I thought he was dead, I would have hit a button. These buttons been around over a year.
Yeah.
Like, what anybody watch my content? No, I ain't gonna bite my tongue from the crib. You think he cut like big? Come on, big dog. I would have called him a sucker. And I tried to explain that to him. You know, so I don't want this to veer off because I wasn't the only one confused. The purpose of this is to bring some type of conclusion. When I go talk to my pastor, because I already know what mama gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
I already know what the pastor gonna say. I think if I felt like somebody was coming to listen, I'm old enough to know if someone is coming to me with good intentions.
Right.
Like, bro, I could tell you, Kirk, if you come here, yeah, dude finna rob you. Man, cross the street, yeah, dude finna stick you up. Hey,
Right.
if you come to Chicago and I ain't with you, somebody asks you for the time, they ask you for a light, or they ask you for some change,
Yeah.
keep walking. They finna stick you up. I know how to read the room, right? I know if someone coming to me with ill intentions or somebody coming to me, man, I don't care what nobody think. Man, wasn't shit positive about that shit. Because if it was, he would have articulated. Just like I said, if I come to you and I tell you, yo, you doing something wrong. Matter of fact, I told him. I helped him with his shit. You taking the TV off wrong. You shouldn't wheel a dolly through a crib because this is what I gave him why you shouldn't do it. It may not happen to you thus far, but eventually it's bound to happen.
Right.
I'm not gonna say, bro, you're gonna get a floor claim eventually, and then I'll articulate why. Because all that's gonna do is what? It's gonna confuse you.
Right.
Yo, you shouldn't do this, and then I'm gonna give you the reasons why you shouldn't do it. I'm gonna give you examples. Even with the whole dolly thing, the 125, I explained to him and I gave an example. Why? I have experience. I've been through this shit. You think somebody, like every single thing we did, we got paid for it? It's moving jobs we didn't get paid. It's final mile jobs we didn't get paid. And not all of them resulted from claims. Man, I remember in my early career with my moving company, a guy had us move his whole house and didn't even pay. He was fucked up. He got put out. He wasn't even a black guy. He was fucked up. He had to move. He didn't have no money. Used us and did like this to his family. They had to drag me up out that crib. I was still on the truck.
Mm-hmm.
When I explained to him about the dolly, like, leave that shit alone, I explained to him why from a business perspective, and I used an example. Listen, motherfucker owe me $11,000. To this day, my lawyer said, Mark, the retainer 5, do you want to spend 5 chasing 11 that you may never get. So I will never tell someone why this is stupid or why you shouldn't do that without giving them reasons and examples why based on my experience. So when a person comes, especially with something with religion, I don't talk about religion.
Right.
You know I don't talk about religion. The closest you're going to get to religion on my channel is me thanking God. I might thank God, midstream, thank God. Man, what do I always thank? A lot of times I thank God for exiting when I exit. I always say it, man, I would be screwed if I held on. Man, thank you, Lord. Thank you. Whew, God, I'm glad I did what I did. That's as far as you're going to get. So to come to a channel and bring this shit,
yeah,
and then you see me in the live stream, man, explain to me. I even said it, bro, I'm humble. Man, I'm asking you, bro. I ain't ashamed. I said, man, I ain't ashamed. Explain to me. I said, explain to me. Multitude of times. So now you leaving this shit. You come and you stir up this shit, and then you have no fucking answers.
Right, right.
And then people telling me to move on, but then nobody reach out to me and give me the answers. I don't give it. Listen, bro, I don't care. So yes, we're going to talk about it because a lot of people wanted to come up. I didn't let nobody up that day. I'm going to open it up and let you come up tonight. I want anybody that wanted to come up that day, you're welcome to come up tonight. And then that's the end of it. I'm going to go talk to my pastor. I don't want to talk to Buddy no more.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody telling me. This is me. I don't want to talk to dude ass. But I do want resolution, because if I was left confused, I know other people were confused because it's still the topic of conversation.
Yeah.
Ain't no way I'm going to go to nobody and tell them about themselves and tell them what they should do. And then when they ask you the answers, don't give them no resolution. That was bullshit. And that's why what's happening is happening. All right, man.
Yeah, it's it is crazy. It is crazy. But yeah, it's it's one of those things, man. And that's why I said the intention was not good.
No, I ain't confused on it was no, I know that the intentions wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for sure.
Yeah, but it's also envy. It's also jealousy. You see what I'm saying? It's all of those things wrapped up together. And the person.
Listen, let me explain something to you. I'm this is a crash out moment, because I don't do crash out moment. That was some hoe shit. That was some hoe ass shit. And at the end of the day, once I realized it was some sucker shit during the live stream, that's why I didn't go in on him. Why we don't pray on the weak? Now I realize he was a weak motherfucker during the live stream. Because the shit he did, the actions he did as it pertained to me was some weak ass shit. So I didn't have to like belittle him and shit like that. When you see me going at Buddy ass, I ain't gonna even say Buddy name, but y'all know it's because dude ass go around the internet picking on other content creators. He pick on box truck content creators. He pick on people. He think he this, that, and the third. He call grown men out their name. So when you see me get on his ass, pause, it's more aggressive. Because he in middle America somewhere, like he's like he the toughest guy, he ain't shit. This guy didn't get that from him. I just wanted to talk about insurance. So when I said he was a nice guy, What he did was some whole shit. That was some whole ass shit. See, I ain't gonna throw no stone at how man. I tell you what it is, and whatever the consequences behind it, deal with it. So when I said he was a nice guy, it was genuine. If it's an issue, I'll let you know. And it ain't no issue. But if my thoughts change, I will let you know. My bad, man.
Yeah,
I think people confused, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and you gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful. You know what I mean? And um, numerous time, you told him you don't know me. Why you question my religion, and he just kept going because he had a personal issue, a bone to pick with you, so to speak, and he wanted to make sure that he uses you know religion to do it. You know what I mean? And uh, you know I said this to you, and I'm gonna say it again. you know People be on the internet, bro, and they be seeing different content creator, and I don't know what it is, but it takes nothing now for a person to not like you. You know what I mean? And that's one thing. But then when a person don't like you, and then they got this underlying contentment for you, and it's just shit that people just do. It's just one of those things where I don't know. It takes them nothing. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man.
What was you getting into, bro, before I cut you off, bro? My bad.
No, what I was saying is DMX, and I was trying to reference DMX as an artist that if everybody would listen to DMX back in the days, every album DMX has, he put there's a prior on it. You see what I'm saying? Every album. So the point that I'm trying to make is, if CJ want to proclaim all this Christianity, then you gotta let your light shine, and he's not doing that. So to come and judge you, and cast judge on you is just wrong, because his light is not shining. You know what I mean? Um, the Bible speak about having a form of godliness, but deny the power thereof. This is why when he speaks about the insurance, now let me explain this to you. I think that when I listen to him talk about the system and the insurance and all of that stuff, and that's why he's not moving, you cannot mix up the world with what you believe in. You see what I'm saying? Because the Bible teach us about the world. When Jesus was fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, the devil came and said, just bow down to me and I give you all the kingdom in the world. And he didn't. You see what I'm saying? Jesus speak about this world and the kingdom of this world. So if he's following the Bible, you should know the kingdom of this world, the insurance company, the tax, the whatever. It is a part of this system, and you have to deal with it. If you want to be the one that's going to internalize it, and then not pay, and then you're gonna be standing alone, because nobody in the right mind gonna come behind you and say, yeah, CJ, let's go take down State Farm. You can't, because that's the kingdom of this world. See what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things he doesn't know, and that's what makes it bad for him. He's not even worthy of speaking to someone about any form of religion, much less to pass judgment on someone. And that's why I said it's blasphemy, because you have to know what you're talking about. You have to be able to articulate what you're talking about, and not just randomly saying stuff because you hear it or you're using it as a talking point. I heard him say to you God more than how he said Jesus. The only time he said to you about Jesus was when he was describing when Jesus was sitting down and eating with the tax collector. So he picks and chooses what part of the Bible to fit his narrative to make a point with you. Let my light shine. He never really tell you why. Why your light supposed to shine? You see what I'm saying? And he never fully say what it meant to let your light shine. Let your light shine so bright so man may see the good that God gave you and done for you. So when you speak about your accomplishment, that person that is listening to you talk about it will glorify God in heaven. That's what that means. He never even said that to you. So it's just things that let a person know that it's more than just the content. He did not came up here to talk to you about that video. That was not his intention. His intention was to belittle, put you beneath him, break you down. Yeah, you think you the one that have this channel, and yeah, you
can't break
see
me
what I'm saying?
down.
But that's what his intention was.
He ain't strong enough to. He ain't strong
You see
enough.
what I'm
Ain't
saying?
nobody.
So
He can't break me down.
So, and that's why I said to you early on, Jesus told us about take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name and saying, I'm the Christ, and deceive many. People will come and say, I'm a Christian, and try to speak this Christian language to you, but they are from the devil. And that's why I said, my wife said yesterday, man, CJ, he's from the devil. He ain't no Christian, he's straight from the pit of hell. And I've said that. You cannot speak on issues that you're not even supposed to be speaking on. So it is what it is, man. And hopefully you'll learn. I went on his channel. There's nothing biblical over there. He doesn't speak to his audience about Christianity. He doesn't promote. He doesn't show anything. So that's the hypocrite side of being you judging a person and you're not even absorbing or exercising what you're talking about. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem. It's easy to point out somebody else's issue, but you yourself have an issue. The Bible talk about when Jesus was in one of his settings, they asked Jesus, can we judge each other? And Jesus said, any one of you who are clean of sins, cast the first stone. And none of them couldn't, because all of them were sinners. We're not worthy of judging. God is the only one that can judge us. You see what I'm saying? He's the ultimate judger. You get what I'm saying? Now I can share my opinion and tell you what I think.
Listen, we here. This is
But,
listen. I didn't listen. I didn't start this shit. I talk about business, and I know I can be controversial when it comes to business, or maybe I'm not controversial. I just think a lot of people are ignorant. You dig what I'm saying? So whatever you want to say, as long as it's along the scope of what has transpired within the content, then it's fine. A lot of people were super chatting the other day because here's the thing: religion and politics are two touchy subjects.
Right.
They are two touchy subjects, and even with what transpired, I would have liked that. I feel like if you're gonna come to someone's channel with religion, give me a heads up, because I don't want to talk about it. If I would have known that was going to be the angle, I wouldn't have did it. I said it in that live stream. I'm not well versed. That's why I asked. And he couldn't give me the answers. He couldn't even tell me what he was trying to tell me. You see what I'm saying? So it was like, it was a waste, bro. It was a waste that ultimately it was a bad reflection on him because of the way he went about it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I wouldn't have did that. What do we learn from that? From a business perspective, if we would have because my reaction video, and there's another thing, like, this is content creation. People are gonna react to your videos. If you're gonna be soft, don't do it. One of my subscribers, he's a member. He came to me. I keep telling you this. I'm just telling you who it was. Like in December, January, he consulted with me in the Discord. Man, Mark, I'm thinking about doing content creation, and he said, but I'm worried about what people are going to think about me. I told him, don't do it. Now, some people are like, Mark, you crushing his dreams. I'm not crushing his dreams. I'm saving them. Because the moment he said, listen, I'm worried about what people are going to think and say about me, they're going to think and say about you. Mm-hmm. Why? Because you're putting yourself on public platforms, so that means you're putting yourself under the thumb or the eye of scrutiny. You're going to get scrutinized. And if you're worried about it, let me save you right now, young man. He's a 22-year-old. And we know about these 20-something-year-olds. They real emotional. Right. So if you create content, somebody just reacted to a piece of your content. Mm-hmm. He's probably watching right now. Same person reacted to me. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And it was way more aggressive. Way more aggressive. So far to the aggressive, he did graphic shit to you, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, that's not something that I do. It's not something that you do. But some content creators will go to the extreme of reacting to your content, and then they'll put funny faces on you and shit like that. I didn't even put him on the thumbnail. It was a reaction video. I reacted to one piece of content, and then I reacted to another piece of, and I keep my shit professional. I'm just talking and just talking about the points where I disagree with. Now, we could have came over here and we could have kept it on that. And then we could have got into what I would have, my talking points would have been on capitalism, and this is America, it's a capitalistic society, and that would have been my argument. That's how I like debating. I like having these conversations. Nobody else is doing it. It's healthy. There's nothing wrong with having an educated debate as long as it stays above the belt. I keep it above the belt. I don't go personal. Because as soon as you go personal, you lost. That's the rules of a debate. As soon as you go personal, you lost. I'm articulate and well-versed and experienced enough in business, especially this business, that I don't have to veer off into personal insults. If it's something that I'm not well-versed in, I'm not going to enter that arena. Mark, why don't you do other content? Go red pill, go this pill, go that pill. Talk about this, talk about that. What do I say? No. Mm-hmm. I'm going to stick to what I know because I can dominate what I know. So, no, I don't, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's some sucker shit, bro.
Yeah.
That was sucker shit. So me, all he had to do was keep it on the content. That's it. Where the problem went.
But it wasn't about the content. That's why I try to make you understand.
Okay,
let me. You keep saying that, but I'm saying, Mark, it wasn't about the content. You keep saying keep it on the content. It wasn't about the content in the first place. It was to tear you down and do all the stuff I told you. It was never about the content. You keep reverting and back to the content. It was never about that. That's why we're having this discussion tonight. It was to make a person, you know what the military call waterboarding, right? If they catch a sniper, when they catch one of their enemies,
that's when they put your head in the water and they tell us what you know. Tell us what you know. Exactly.
And they degrade that person to the point where they're gonna get them to feel so small of themselves. You see what I'm saying? Even though the people never give up the information, they feel justified by making that person. Remember that big story that came out of Guantanamo Bay with the I think it was the guys, the prisoners, and where they take off their clothes, and the military was doing all that type of stuff to them, and they were I think they were Muslim. They
I'm not.
degraded them, but that's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah. Was that
Right.
was like during was that during
Obama.
Obama? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing he came to did.
Mhm.
That's it. It wasn't about the content.
Well,
Stop thinking it was about it. It wasn't. It wasn't about it in the first place. That's why when you say that's why when you kept saying, "Can we get back to the content, please?" It constantly veer off into casting judgment against you.
That's what makes it sucker shit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's why it's sucker shit.
You see what I'm saying?
Because the moment you go personal, you lost. That's why, in my opinion, if you're going to get emotional because someone reacted to your content, you shouldn't do, because now what you're doing is now you become a target.
Mm-hmm.
Now people are going to look because they know you are emotional about it, and they're going to look to target you. That's what content people react to people's content all the time. And you know what? Sometimes people aren't as professional about it as I am. We've been doing this. I think he's been doing it longer than me. I don't know about you, but like my content gets reacted to. Some shit I respond to, some shit I don't. I can beat a person up because I know when it comes to this shit, I know what I'm talking about. I'll beat you up. When it comes to this business shit, I don't need to attack you personally. And the moment you veer off, before I attack an individual, personally, I'll walk away. Why? Because somebody asked me this morning in the Discord. Or we were having a conversation. I said, because those are my morals and principles. Just because a person goes low, if I'm drawing off principles and I'm drawing off morals, right? I'm not going to break my principles and morals to stoop down to your level. If I'm listen, like if I said, man, wife and children is a no-go, even if you go there with me, it don't mean that I got to go there with you. If you attack, let's say, my wife and my kids, I don't have to do that because I don't do that. I'm a sucker if I break my own principles because you did some whole shit. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So before I veer off, personally, I just throw my hands up in there and walk away.
But stick a pin right there, because he said that, I heard you said that you do all and you put all in, and you never have no wife and no kids, and you put it all in. And he said, I'm trying to say this to you, but that's not you. There's nowhere in the Bible, or there's nowhere that it's mandatory that any one of us should have kids or wives before business. You see what I'm saying?
Let's unpack that. You have kids. You know what I mean? I have kids out of wedlock. I'm bodine. Mm-hmm. I live with a woman that's shacking up. I'm bodine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those that don't know what bodine means, bogus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I build my shit up, set myself up. I'm in the process of that now. It's an issue. When do you win around this motherfucker? When do you win? How the fuck do you win around this motherfucker? You have kids out of wedlock. I'm a baby daddy. That's bogus.
Right.
Living with a woman, that's bogus.
You're unequally yoked.
You do this shit the right way. You bogus. The fuck you supposed to do around this motherfucker? You can't satisfy nobody.
Right. If you have kids out of wedlock, you're unequally yoked, Mark.
Get the fuck
and if you
don't
have no kids at all, it's still a problem. You see why I tell you it's more? You see why I tell you it's more than just you. It's an issue with you. It has nothing to do with the content, bro. That's what I'm telling you. It has nothing to do with that.
Hey, check it out. Any man that sit up there and worry about another man, and this is why I understand why these guys are so soft and emotional and sensitive. You sitting up there, anybody, listen, check it out. If you sitting up there worried about me, you're soft, you're emotional, and you're sweet. Like, I don't sit up there and worry about what other niggas is doing.
Right.
Dude, I got a pretty chick. I ain't worried about you for my chick bad. Like, fucking worry about another man.
Right.
Like, you want to sit up and have conversations. A lot of other people talk about it. Like, you sitting up there having a conversation. Man, man, I'm telling you, man, I don't know who raised these people. I wasn't raised like that. You know, my opinions, when I talk about content, I keep it on the content. And yes, I have strong views when it comes to trucking. I have strong views when it comes to business. And I have shown and proved I will debate anybody when it comes to that. Link is always going to be pinned to the top of the chat. We have shows dedicated for you to come and express or debate what you want to debate. I'm not going to get personal with you. And if you happen to beat me, I'm going to take my L like a champ.
Right.
I'm going to take it like a champ. Because at the end of the day, okay, the audience got some type of education and they learned from it. There's nothing wrong with that. You got it, man.
He said that one of the things that stood out as a red flag when he saw your channel was the fact that your content was not, there was no mention of any part of it was ever mentioned God.
That's a lie. That's what he was, everybody watches me know
that's what he was trying to, but that's what he was trying to say when he said red flag. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's a lie. And I called him out and he didn't even apologize. He didn't even, you know, so like, I'm not finna sit up here and like, this is lame. This shit
my
lame
question
as hell.
is, why it is a red flag to him?
That's lame. It's lame. Like, why is what another person does on their channel a red flag? First of all, let me kick it with you. Men don't say, hold on, stop. Men don't say that's a red flag. I've never heard a nigga in my circle say, hey, Mark, man, I seen dude over there. That was a red flag. That's something women say. That's a red flag. We don't put red flag emojis up. I've never heard a man. Now, I don't know if men say it, but I ain't never heard no man say it. That's a red flag. That's what women say. Oh, yeah. He got 8 kids by 8 different women. He was a red flag. You see women say that shit. That's a nigga, something out. That's a red flag for me. What? A man said that? Man, get your goof ass off my mom.
Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff, man. It's a lot of stuff. And you know, I'm gonna say this. When he said that you don't have to be in church, and when you asked him about church, and he said he is the church, meaning that he said your body is the church.
Listen. I'm on the real. I've heard. Yeah, because I looked at him because, like, man, see, that's why I got off the live stream shortly after that. Now, here, I've heard people say that, but I was brought up in the church. So if you think the church is just a building or the church is in you, you're free to think the way you want. I don't like the fact that something was trying to be pushed on me. Don't push nothing on me. See, now I'm mad. See, that day I exercised patience and poise, but I didn't have a lot of time to look at that shit, and that shit was some sucker shit.
Yeah.
I was raised in the church. Don't try to get me to think or feel how you feel. I was brought up in the church.
Exactly.
Don't push your shit on me. Because I'm not going to push my religion on anybody. You are free to think and believe in what you want to believe in. And I will never make nobody push my religion or my faith on anybody. And tell them it means nothing. Man, get your sucker ass out of here, man.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I was brought up in the church. I went to Sunday school. I remember going, Sunday school, going to the service right after Sunday school at 11, sitting there through the whole process. That's what I know. That's how I was brought up. So to me, the church is a church. It's a building.
There is a church
with pews and a pulpit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if a person believes that they are the church, I get that and I understand that too, and that's their right. And I'm not saying it's right or it's wrong. Nothing's right or wrong. You have the freedom to believe what you want to believe. And that's
Right.
all that I want people to think. So to anybody that is conflicted after that live stream, whatever your faith is, you have a right to have your faith. Don't let nobody push nothing on you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and for people who watch us, there is the church because Jesus speak of his church. Jesus said that I shall build my church on this rock, and the gate of hell shall not prevail against it. Paul the apostle in the book of Corinthians 1 and 2 speak about the church and what the church should look like. And that's where they go into more detail about the apostles, who should be apostles, the deacon, the deaconess, the evangelist, the ministers. So, they all set up in different ways that the church should set up and run. So there is a building that we should gather and commune together, just like when we go take the Sabbath. You see what I'm saying? All of those stuff. You get what I'm saying? So for him to say he's a church, again, it just led me to believe that he's not, because he's not under someone. And I can 99.9% probably say that he probably just started probably reading the Bible and kind of like mixing it up with his own ideology of what he thinks.
I don't know what he's doing. I don't.
But
go ahead.
nothing he's saying is really come from a scriptural base, because again, at one point he said, Mark, I do respect you. I love your content. I'm talking to you out of love, and I really mean to, you're a good guy. And Mark, you really are very smart and intelligent. See, he's trying to ease you to make it sound like he's not here with bad intention, and kind of like, rub a person, kind of like get under their best side, but then 2 minutes later he whips out, well, I don't think you should do this, and you can't, and you said, well, I'm speaking to an urban group of middle class Black American people on my channel. I'm not a Christian based, and he still try to judge you and pass that judgment and put that burden on you because he felt like your channel should set away. Now, I can understand if he was a brother in your church, because the Bible do speak of this also, where if I'm a member of the church and let's say you are a member and I saw the things you're doing on YouTube, and even when he comes on YouTube, he still would be wrong. The Bible said, if I have a problem with one of my brother, take him in private and speak to him. So let's just say both of y'all for a conversation was going to the same church. You at a YouTube channel. He sees some things that doesn't align with the gospel. He can call you out, but he can't even do it on a public platform like YouTube. He would have to come to you, speak to you in private. Then the Bible says, if you don't listen, ye would have to get a witness, go and speak to you again. And if both of y'all don't come to a conclusion, then he would have to take it to the congregation and let them know what you're doing. None of that is happening. You're not even a church member. You're just talking about supposedly supposed to be speaking about content. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just wrong on so many levels, bro. Like, it's not, again, it's more than just do you reviewing the video, and that's just my conclusion. I mean, people watch it and they know, so it is what it is. I mean, it's people out here, bro, they're weird. They're weird. You know what I mean? And he said he came to speak the gospel that night, and he said, I don't care if I just, even if I save one person. He did not save anyone. Because he didn't reach to you, and then the chat was angry.
I mean, I'm angry now, and I'm not angry like to the point where it's bothering me. Don't come with some shit and then don't have the shit that you said you came with. Like, yeah, it's like I want to tell you something, but I don't want to tell you, or I don't know how to tell you. Well, why the fuck are you here?
I'm gonna call you and tell you later.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like, I told you some shit, and I told you where you fucked up at, and then I explained to you why you're doing what you're doing and why it's wrong and what it can lead to if you continue to do it, and then I gave you the right way to do it. So
this person in the chat said plant a seed. He did not plant a seed.
He ain't planting no seed in me.
He ain't planting no
why?
seed.
What he did was he came over here, he got some eyes on him, and whatever. Cool. He didn't come over here. He didn't plant no seed in me. Big Mark still a Baptist. I'm still believing in the church. I'm still gonna go to the building. You dig? I'm still gonna listen to rap music. That's why I came on with the Kanye. You can't tell me nothing because you can't. You can't tell me shit. You can't tell me nothing. He can't tell me nothing. He ain't plant no seed.
Yeah, he did not plant no seed.
He ain't do shit. Ain't no weak people over here. This is a strong community. Ain't no weak people over here. He didn't plant no seed. He came over here with ill intentions, and he couldn't even articulate. What seed did he plant? He couldn't even answer no. He couldn't even answer no questions.
Couldn't.
You shouldn't go forcing religion on people, and then when you open it up and a person asks you, well, explain it to me. Explain it to me. Explain it to me. All right, break it down for me. I can't. You don't see the wrong in that. And I know you his biggest advocate. That's why you over here. I've never seen you over here before until that day and today. And I guarantee you, once we move on after this live stream, after we move on from this, I will never probably see you over here again, because you're not here for me. You're not here for the business and for the education. You're here for him to be an advocate for him. So you didn't see the wrong in that. You don't see the wrong in sparking something and not having no answers. And now that it's been highlighted, because if I bring something to you, I'm not going to stir up something and present something to you and can't explain it to you or break it down to you. Yep. Because it ain't gonna do nothing but confuse you. And if I'm trying to educate you, the last thing I want to do is confuse you. If I'm trying to give you something, a piece of information, I want to make sure you understand it. The last thing I want to do is start it and then leave you on a cliffhanger and be like, well, I don't really understand how. If you don't understand, or this, I'll tell you later, and all this goofy shit. What? Like what?
Yeah.
Like, man, let's. What other talking points you got before I open up the chat, man?
Oh, that's it, man. I mean, I think that,
So I'm gonna drop the link.
Yeah, drop the link. Individual need to just, you got, when you take on this religion thing, you got to know what you're talking about. You have to know what you're talking about, and you got to be careful too, because you don't want to, like I told you, my pastor, when we was doing when we used to go and evangelize, he used to tell us, go and introduce yourself to those people, knock on the door, tell them the church you're from. Don't speak to them, because you can lead people away from Christ. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't want to say the wrong thing. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful, and
But that's a good. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you finish, and then
yeah, you no, go ahead. You can lead people
that
away.
that's a good point. Just in content creation, period. You have to be mindful of what you say, and I say this shit all the time. I say this all the time. You have to be mindful of what you say, because influence, you never know how strong your influence may be. And if you're not well versed on what you're talking about, then you create something and you start something, and then your question. I'm not in the chat. You can easily ignore the chat. You came over here, you asked to have a conversation. We having a conversation. You took it somewhere where I didn't know it was going to go, and then I'm asking you questions and you can't answer them.
Right.
Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is crazy to me. It makes no sense. Like, no, I don't want to talk. I don't want to have no. Listen, once I'm on that, I'm on that, and I'm on that. Like, cause I think that shit was wrong. I've looked at that shit twice. I went back and watched that shit twice, and every time I watch that shit, it pisses me off.
Yeah.
So I exercised a lot of mercy on him, and a lot of grace, and a lot of poise, and a lot of people complimented me on that. And but it was that shit was bogus.
Yeah, you demonstrate you did demonstrate the temperament that speak about especially about in the Bible, because as a Christian you have to have good temperament. You get what I'm saying? And for you to sit here and demonstrate that in front of him, it just shows the elegant of a person you are. There was times where he was frustrated, he was angry, and he was, you could see in his body language, I don't want to kind of have this moment right now, but he's kind of like, irritated. You see what I'm saying? While you were there, and the demonstration of both of y'all, you really have angled yourself well. I think one of the most thing that I've seen you do, which was coming from the way he was talking to you, was when you were breaking down what your channel do. You get what I'm saying? Your box truck channel, you don't talk about religion. You even reference a guy that spoke about religion, and said that he does religion with his content, and the demographic you were talking about, your audience and all of that. So it just shows
you talking about Myron, right?
yeah, Byron, yeah, when you were breaking it down and you mentioned that, so you demonstrate a part of what he should have been doing. And that's what makes it makes it so crazy, because you're angling yourself way better than him, yet he doesn't have the answer to give you. This is why you don't story up stuff that you can't even talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I asked him so many times, like, man, explain it. I said, bro, like, I'm not ashamed. Educate me. I said that. If you go watch, I said, man, let me know. Tell me. I said, man, I'm not well versed. Educate me. I'm not. I said, I ain't ashamed. I said, what I say? I said, bro, I ain't ashamed. Educate me, bro. I'm too old to worry about what people think about me. Go ahead and tell me. I tried to make him feel as comfortable as possible, and then once I realized it wasn't a comfortability thing, I realized, man, does he really even know? So now I'm like, why is he going in that direction if he has no answers? And you can't tell me, or I don't know how to. Well, why are you telling me? I can tell you how to move a refrigerator up 3 flights of stairs. I can tell you how to move a piano up 3 flights of stairs. I can show you what you're doing is wrong and correct it like I did.
Right.
If you're coming to me and you're trying to veer the conversation in a different direction, but you can't tell me what you're trying to tell me, come on, bro. So why are you here? Because clearly, as far as business is concerned, and I'm keeping it a buck. It's day and night. When it comes to this moving thing, it's day and night. All right, so we got that understanding. You dig what I'm saying? And this is facts. It's day and night. So now that we understand that, and from a business mindset, is different. All right, so now you veer over here, and you can't make it make sense. Link pin to the top of the chat.
Yeah, we'll take some calls, man. It's wild,
Link
bro.
pin to the top of the chat. Link pin to the top of the chat. So at the end of the day, that shit is where it is, bro. I don't want to talk. I don't want to you give me. I didn't look back at that shit, motherfucker. You questioning my faith. Nigga, I grew up in the church.
Yeah.
Man, you gotta be out your
It was just out of place.
Rabbit ass mind.
Out of place. Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Totally out of place. Ain't shit to talk about. See, I tell you, ain't shit to talk about. Ain't shit to talk about. I don't want to talk. I don't want kumbaya. I ain't on none of that.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things you just don't do. And you don't never person tell you if it's like if you tell me you're a Muslim, I'm not finna try to push Christianity on you.
Mm-hmm.
I have Muslim buddies. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. One of my Muslim buddies, he used to always invite me to the mosque, but he would never push it on me. And a few times I went with him. I did go with him, and it wasn't because I was seeking Islam, but it was out of curiosity. He invited me, so I went. I went to the one on 73rd, Mosque Mariam, and Stony Island here in Chicago, which is Farrakhan's Mosque Mariam, right there on 73rd and South Chicago. I went to the Moles Mosque right there off of 79th and Cottage Grove with one of the founding members of the Moles. Right there off 79th and Cottage Grove. I went there quite a few times. I went to it's one right off of 87th. It's in like an apartment, like a house. Right on 87th. I don't even know if it's still there. Right off of 87th in Halsted. Man, I went to a few different ones, and this is way back in the day. This is like 08, 09.
Right.
He taught me, the prayer and everything. I never was going to convert, but I was curious.
Right.
Me personally, I wouldn't, I ain't trying to push Christianity on nobody. I'm not no ordained minister. I'm not, that's just not. So I don't like that shit. You know what I mean? Don't.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful. You have to. You know what I mean? And that's why when a person say he sow a seed, I'm like, what seed are you talking about? He did not sow no seed.
They ain't sow no seed over here. Because I literally got a homie that I went to a few mosques with. For like a year and a half, he would invite me and I would go. And I'm still a Christian. I'm still Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe in Jesus Christ. And what I learned when I was going to the different mosques with him, now I went to the mosque over off of in Hyde Park. And what is it, Hyde Park, or is it it's off of I forget where it's off of. The people in Chicago probably tell me the one over there off of It's in Hyde Park. Now I went there one time, and that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because it happened to be Easter weekend, and they was talking. They was saying some things I didn't like. But guess what? You think I jumped up and I disrespected them people in that mosque? I sat my behind there and I listened to what they were saying, and I never went back.
Right.
I didn't go in their home and push Christianity on. They were saying some things that, and this was a FOI Muslim. I mean, this was a FOI mosque. So they have, their beliefs are, running words on 47th. Their beliefs, they're Muslim, but the FOI, and I could be wrong. Are they Sunni? Is the FOI, are they Sunni? Yeah, you're right, one in word, 47th Street west of Lake Park. I went to that one. Yes. As the FOI Sunni? But anyway, I happened to go to that one the weekend of Easter, and the I forget what they call the person who leads I don't know, they didn't call him sermons. But man, he was, oh my God, he was tearing Easter up. And I disagreed with it, but I listened. And my buddy, he looked at me because he knew that I was a Christian. And he asked me, was I all right? I said, man, I'm cool. I understand how the nation feels about, you know what I'm saying? I when I talk to people from the nation, my birthday is February 26th. And every time I tell somebody from the nation that my birthday is February 26th, because I think Fard Muhammad's birthday was February 26th, and I think he's the founder of the nation. That's why they always have Savior's Day around that day. It's always the last Sunday. And if it happens, that Sunday happens to fall on the 26th, it's like a big deal because that's Master Fard Muhammad's, I believe that's his birthday. So, right. Like, I know because I was going around with him and then this other guy, I would go to different mosques, and I was just curious. I was curious from the nation's perspective, and then I was curious from the Sunni. And it was two different teachings. I know when I went to a Sunni mosque, it was different than what the FOI taught. It was just a different type of teaching, but
yeah, it's the same thing with Christianity. If you go into like, if you go to like, a Christian church versus if you go to the Roman Catholic, is different. If you go to Jehovah's Witness, is different. Is, what I mean? Same thing, it's different,
Yeah, hold on. M. Jackson, yeah, FOI is Fruit of Islam. The FOI stands for the Fruit of Islam.
Yeah, so, it's just one of those things, but yeah.
Yeah. All right, link is pinned to the top of the chat, man. There was a lot of people that wanted to come up the other day. Y'all was begging me, dropping super chats. Now's the time, bro. Now's the time. Yeah. You can come up from that live stream Thursday. It's based on what you wanted to say from the live stream on Thursday. This is not nothing else. I don't want to talk about nothing else but what you wanted to talk about Thursday. This is your opportunity. I appreciate those super chats. That's another thing. I didn't get a chance to acknowledge the super chats that day because I was just so consumed with, like, I was really paying attention. Like, I didn't want to interrupt like I normally do because I didn't want to lose my train of thought. And, so I apologize for not acknowledging. I went back and I messaged some of the people that super chatted in the Discord. Moving Company Hustle super chatted $200. I think 608. And there was a few other people. So I appreciate you guys. Yeah. Oh, link is pinned.
Yeah,
listen, and whether you are something it don't matter what side of the scope. Big Mark ain't worried about none of that. You could be on either side of the scope. You dig what I'm saying? Now is your chance. I don't listen. We don't run from any conversations. Because here's the thing, I articulated that I wasn't well versed, so I'm not finna sit up here and go back and forth. I'm gonna let you say what you're gonna say, and then I'm gonna go ahead about my business.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So it's just sometimes people just do things and say things and they don't really understand. So I know you're gonna grow better, bigger and better from this anyway because you've been doing it. So again, I don't know why people keep comparing or watching or I don't get it, bro. But it happens. It happens, and I wish people would just focus more on themselves. You know what I mean? I'm not caught up in that insurance and the world, and I don't you know one point he said I don't do worldly things. It's just a lot. I don't think he understand, and I can tell because he's not under a leader. A lot of time people speak like that, they're just speaking from their own understanding. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just a lot, bro. It's a lot.
Okay.
You
You don't
know,
got nothing. You don't got no more talking points on this.
he I wanted to say he when when you went and this is when you went at the part where he said to you, all of us have an expiration date, and you taken back by where that conversation came from. That is another part of what I'm saying. Because
I
you
remember.
weren't.
I remember he said that. Like when he said
Yeah.
everybody
The
is gonna
reason why he
die.
said that to
Okay.
you, the reason why he said that to you is because when he was first saying that you are not where you are because is God put you there. I think in his mind you were being condescending or not taking him serious. So he upped it a notch, saying that, that's why he brought it up.
Well, you know what?
And
That's
that's
very
why your face expression went like that.
and that was a hypocritical thing to say because after all
Mm-hmm.
that, I've combed through his shit, and there's plenty of times where he said I.
Mm-hmm. Right.
When he told me that, and he said, man, when he gave me the compliments, the ones you were talking about, and then he said, but everything is not about business. And then I proceeded to ask him, well, what else you want me to talk about?
Mm-hmm.
And then when he said life is, I think he was kind of alluding to it, like it's not about business and money, because that's when I was like, man, I'm gonna go get that bag. I just watched something where hold
Because
on,
that's putting a person beneath. That's bringing down a person.
I hear you, but I just watched
Right.
him say, hey, I don't play about my money. This is verbatim. He said, man, I
Mm-hmm.
don't play about my money. In the third video he did about Dolly, he said, look, I don't play about money. When it comes to my money, so now I could look at it like, well, damn, if they took the 125 from you, that's God didn't want you to have it. He wanted you to be charitable. I could look at it that way. You don't play about your money. Why is it so serious? Why is it so serious that you don't play about it? So it's me chasing it is a bad thing, but then you can say, hey man, hey, I don't play about my money. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They took the money. He told me everything, you do nothing, everything is God. God took the 125. So why are you fighting it so bad?
He was gonna sue them.
He said it that I don't play about my money.
Right.
That's what he said.
Yeah, because he said he was gonna sue them.
So let that shit
See,
go.
that right there
Because-
just tell you his level of mindset, because
Right.
nobody
So-
in their right mind is gonna sue a big company for $125.
Listen, ain't nobody finna be complaining for no $125.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody finna go on no rant for 3 fucking videos for 125 funky ass little ass dollars.
Yeah.
Sue for 125. How much you think the retainer? Like, that's fucking embarrassing. Yo, yeah, I want to get a consultation. Yeah, what happened? Yeah, so I work for this. Y'all do free consultations, right? All right, yeah, okay. So yeah, I work for this gig app, and it's called Dolly. And I did this job, and something happened, so they reversed $125, and I'm using this free consultation with your law firm because I want to inquire about, can I sue them? Wait, excuse me? $125,000? No, not quite. $125. Well, sir, our it's going to be a minimum, at least our cheapest lawyer. This guy literally just passed the bar last week. You didn't. Our cheapest lawyer literally just passed the bar last week.
They're gonna send the one I knew.
Hey, check it out. Hey, he's so new as a lawyer, we still got him pushing the mail cart. He's still working out the mail room, and his retainer is a $3,000. You dig what I'm saying? So you want to spend $3,000 to chase $125. $125.
Yeah, he's out of new. Oh man.
Man, what we talking about, big dog? What we talking about?
Pure ignorance. That's what it is.
Goofy ass shit, bro.
Oh man, it's pure ignorance, bro. Yeah, that was crazy. That part was crazy. And the only on the TV. The only on the TV.
The man said,
I used to be a cable tech, right? TV was supposed to take off first off the frame. You take it off first, right? It's always take it off first and put it on last. He had the TV was screwing off the wall with the frame. Madness. I've never seen nothing like this. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to unpack. But yeah, he's not gonna, Yeah, but that suing 125 was crazy. That part was crazy. 125. And he was serious.
No, he made 3 videos about this shit, bro. The last one was 45 minutes. He's ranting about he went through like their policy, but he said it at the 8-minute mark. He said, man, I don't play when it comes to my money. But you over here telling me life is more to life than business and money. But you don't play about your money. You don't play about. Y'all think I'm bullshitting. They think I'm bullshitting, Kurt. Yeah, I'm going to leave this shit alone. I'm going to leave this shit alone after this.
Yeah, pull the video up. Pull the video where he says he's going to sue. He's going to sue for 125. That is crazy. I mean, you can get 3 more deliveries and get tip and get 125.
Bro.
You know what I mean?
Bro.
When we used to be in them box truck, man, dropping them load off, man, we get a lot of tip mark. We used to get like $250 a day between me and my helper. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, sue for $125, man. We get that in tip, bro. We get that in tip. You know what I mean?
It costs more to get a manicure and a pedicure.
Way more.
Like, come on, bro. Like, shit. Like, man. Where is that shit up, big
Yeah,
dog.
way more. So for him to say he's gonna sue for that, that's just that just told you, it says a lot about a person. He was serious, you know what I mean? So I think he never looked at it until you break it down to him. And that's what I'm saying. Like nobody is really speaking around him that is kind of smart.
Of abuse as far as lack of support and all the discrepancies that they have. I can deal with that long as you don't mess with my money. The moment that you mess with my money over your lack of leadership and discrepancies and being insufficient and being irresponsible,
It don't matter
that
why
is where I draw the line.
It don't matter why they mess with the money. They mess with it. It's gone. They mess with it. So that means God didn't want you to have it. Why is it okay that you can, don't mess with your money, but you come over here and telling me it's more than business and money? I don't like when you talk about this chasing the bag stuff. So you can chase it, but I can't. Man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Man,
Yeah.
Goofy ass shit.
Yeah,
We
that's
gotta call.
that's the hypocrite side, you know what I mean?
You gotta call it, man. What's up, man?
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, man?
What's up,
Night.
man?
Listen, man. I gotta give you guys props, man. Mark, hats off to you, my friend.
Appreciate you.
You
Appreciate you, man.
yourself exceptionally well. I watched the interview, and as a believer, I honestly I was a bit disturbed, man. To say the least. And I like
Right.
the guy. I like the guy, but he blindsided you with that. Because I was listening, I was expecting to hear, your opinion on the insurance and all that stuff too. But when he made that hard left turn, I was like, whoa. And so yeah, I was embarrassed. But I gotta commend you because rather than just shutting him down and which you had all right to, I believe you do. You handled yourself exceptionally well in a manner that most wouldn't. And so I just wanted to commend you on that. And the way you guys are unpacking the whole interview, it's on point. It, I couldn't add anything else to that, but I just wanted to commend you guys because I think you guys are doing a great job. And Mark, I learned your channel through him. I learned of your
Really?
channel. Yeah.
When recently? Like after that live stream?
No.
Oh,
Before.
Oh,
He introduced me to your channel because when I started watching him, he talked about your channel and stuff that he learned. So, I just picked back on there. And so, I know you do the box truck and stuff. I do cargo van. So, some of the stuff that you talk about, is not relevant, but a lot of it is. And so I take what I can from it to build my cargo van business.
mhm.
And so, when I saw that, and I was floored, and I was like, man, I can't believe this. But
Wow.
but anyway, man, I just want to say I appreciate you, and kudos.
Appreciate
yeah.
you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Haters, yeah, haters gonna hate, and you're just a prime example that you're gonna, you take it, and you're not gonna let it knock you down
Oh
because you're
no.
confident and secure in who you are and
Oh
who
yeah.
Christ is in you. And I love that.
Right.
One brother to
Appreciate you.
another.
Appreciate you. Thank
I
you.
want to ask you a question before you go, real quick, right? Because he said that he was sent here, and he said that I'm supposed to be here, right? What are your thoughts on that? Just that part alone. Give me your thoughts on that.
But I've learned that when God give you a message,
Mm-hmm.
um, confusion,
Mm-hmm.
only is he going to prepare the messenger's heart, but he's also going to prepare the receiver's heart as well.
Right.
Not going to blindside you. I can tell you that for a fact. There's nowhere in the
Right.
whole 66 books of the Bible that I've read from left to right where he teaches that. when when you said that he's the devil, I laughed because I wouldn't go as far as saying he's the devil, but he certainly allowed the devil to use him in that capacity. That's my belief.
Well, the reason why I
Yeah.
say that is because Paul speak in the book of Corinthians. You know that Paul speak about leadership in the church and the appointees in the church. And when you are appointed in the church, you are ordained to take out the tasks. And you got to be careful. That's why I was trying to tell Mark, you got to be careful because once you are ordained, that's a mundane, that's a mandate in your life. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why I said before I was a, ordained deacon, my pastor would tell me, introduce yourself to the people, but don't speak to them. You see what I'm saying? Because in the book of Corinthians, it tells you can either win people or lose people if you don't say the right thing. And so that's why I asked you that one question, because I said it to Mark. You see what I'm saying? So, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. You see what I'm saying?
Definitely, there was the is that he said whole demeanor, his whole body language, and none of that adds up and made sense, and so which leads me to believe, and I believe you said it earlier, that this wasn't a message from Christ, okay? Because again, I spoke to my wife about it, and tried to explain to her what was going on and so forth, and she was for it as well. But if Mark, for you, okay, that person is not gonna bring you on a live platform and give you that message. One. Secondly, that message is gonna be a private conversation. At that point, it's on you whether or not you want to receive that.
Right.
But there were so many wrong on this level that you again, I have to commend you for how you handle it. Because it should have, you said it should have never been on this platform, period. Okay. It should have been a private conversation and nobody would have known about it unless you decide that, you know what, there are values there. And so you would decide that you're going to bring it on your channel. That's the only way anybody else would have known about it. If that was a message from God. There was more fleshly, jealousy, and I can go on with that.
Okay.
But I again, my friend, I appreciate you, man. The content you put out, just keep being you and allow the Lord to use you in the capacity He's using you. And that relationship that you mentioned with you and Christ, it's between you and Christ. All of us, it's our relationship is between us and Him. Yeah. You, not you judge. We're not us judging each other, because the minute we start judging, we ourselves judge us, because the scripture says, and I'm sure you guys know this, that judge not lest ye be judged by the same measures.
What I don't know that. What scripture is that?
It's from the book of Matthew. That's where Jesus was talking to a group on one of his preaching, and they asked him about judging, and he said, don't judge. And then he asked them to cast the first stone. He said, any one of you that are among me, cast the first stone, yet you are free from sin. But none of them was free from sin, so they could not cast a stone. You see what I'm saying? I can find it in the Bible, and I'll send it to you.
Repeat it. What was it? Can you just repeat the scripture real quick for me? And then
it's from the book of Matthew. I can find it and send it, but it's in the book of Matthew where Jesus was having one of his sermon, and he was talking to a bunch of people, and they asked him about judging, and he said to them that
lest ye be judged. Because by the same measures you judge them, you also will be judged by those same measures.
By those same measures. And then he go along and says, anyone where
the same standard I'm going to use to judge you is the same standard that's going to be judged returned back to me.
Right, exactly.
That's what he was saying.
And then further down, he said, anyone among us right now that is free from sin, cast the first stone. And they couldn't. I'll send it to you, Mark. I'll send it to you. But they couldn't. So, you know, it's just, you know, like I told you, it's the same thing he said. Like, you got to be careful when you talk to people. You know what I mean? It's you got to be very careful. So, yeah.
I think the sad thing when he, I actually saw the video that he did when he actually called you out, Mark. You know, because you know, you put the little caption, and he's like, you know, not everybody that says they, you know, you shouldn't follow everybody. Not everybody that speaks of, you know, a content actually know what they're talking about. Sometimes they can be wrong. And when you put that out there, you got my attention. And so when he called you out, I'm like, okay, I got to see what this was all about, because I'm watching this on the back end. You know, I didn't see what this was all about. So I'm like, okay, so I'm, you know, and I know he mentioned about the insurance and he wants to clarify his decision. I'm like, okay, so what difference does it make if, you know, somebody comments and critique that, you know, it really doesn't make a difference, because he said he's pretty thick-skinned. But after this episode here, you're not pretty thick-skinned, man. Like, you're pretty...
Yeah.
So you know, let me ask you this. Do you think it was because of the critique on insurance and licensing? Because at the end of the critique, I compared, you know, licensing there versus licensing here for a moving company. It was encouragement to go forward. You see what I'm saying? So do you think it was due to the critique, or like, are you saying, based like what Kirk was saying, there was already some type of underlying, you know,
feeling? It had to be some underline. It had to be some underline, because when I like the fact that you were able to play back, you know, the offense, so to speak, in quote, that he said, you know, when you called him
nice guy,
when he said a nice guy. And so when you play that back, so I was really looking to see, you know, trying to, you know, intentionally read and make something out of it, you know, where I can say, man, Mark, you're off it. But I couldn't find anything, you know, and you kept explaining it. And the more you're explaining it, I'm watching his body language. I'm like, bro, this would be the point where you back up, you know, you punt. This is where you take a knee. This is where you say, you know what, my friend, I apologize. This is where you end the interview when you get onto a private call and you apologize. Even if you are too ashamed to apologize publicly.
As a man, you shouldn't be.
Private. I agree. 100%.
As a man, you should be, because you weren't. Here's the thing. I didn't put him on a thumbnail. He put me on a thumbnail. He pushed a narrative that wasn't true. You see what I'm saying? So what threw me for a loop is because I expected, when I showed it, and people can watch it, even when I said it again, I said, man, I don't want no smoke. I'm not being, you know, because he seems like a nice guy. There's content creators that I go back and forth with. If you watch my channel, I'm much more aggressive. So when I said it, and I was confused, like, dude, where are you getting this? I'm taking you for weak. Like, I have no problem calling you a cream puff.
No.
You see what I'm saying?
I didn't see that in there at all.
Right. I didn't. I didn't. You see what I'm saying? And I didn't understand why he kept, yes, you are. You're taking me for weak. Dude, where? Like, where? I would just tell you. We're not even talking about competition. We talking about, I'm just saying, listen, I don't know this guy. I'm talking about the insurance. He seems like a really nice guy. You know, I'm complimenting you. I ended it with encouragement. It wasn't a call out. Listen, it was sent to me from one of his subscribers. His subscribers were sending me the Dolly stuff because they were trying to get to him to leave the Dolly thing alone. Hey, man, so they were thinking like, well, if anybody can talk to this guy and break it down, it's Mark. They were coming to me. Right. I took that one. You see what I'm saying? And I kept it on the content. I'm confused where you think a nice guy means a goofball. Where is nice guy and goofball? Because I'm a nice guy and I ain't no goofball. I'm a nice guy. You did?
But you know what though, Mark? You went ahead and you even took that a little further by showing that you're a nice guy. So I'm not sure if I would have done it.
What part you talking about? Done what? Done what?
Where you gave him pointers on how to better his business.
I'm not a hater.
I know that. And so, you know, with the force that he came at you with, you know, and again, it's compliment and kudos to you, you know, that even though you're gonna take shots at me like that, I tell you what, I'm gonna still help you, you know, because I've been there and I'm watching areas of your business where it could cost you, you know, and when you walk him through how, you know, roll that dolly in on the floor, because I never even thought about that, to be honest with you know. When you gave him those pointers and he acknowledged that, you know, he didn't know that or wasn't aware of that, and you know, his body language was still a little stern and to me was not very humbling at all.
But he still bring up religion at the end. That's what makes it even the worst, because the live end with religion again as a topic, and that's where the church part came in.
Yeah, I don't know how I felt about that part there. I kind of wanted to just cut the thing off right there because
I
it
think
went
that's where
even
I did.
further left.
I think that's where I did, because I think something at the end, I went from confused to I was starting to get angry, because the first thing that came to my mind with the church thing, my OG, every Sunday. Listen, even after COVID, during COVID, when they opened the churches back up and people were starting to go back, I was concerned because my mom is a senior citizen. Senior citizens were getting, man, as soon as they opened the church back up, she was there. Like, when it comes to church and you telling me, this is what I'm saying, you can feel how you want to feel. Don't push shit on me. Right. Don't push your shit on me, because I'm not going to push mine on you. So you telling me all this stuff about church, and my mom is religiously in church every Sunday praying for us.
I agree. I mean, we're from the era where our parents and our grandparents, man, that's what they do. You know. But even the fact that he was, you know, harping on the church and the message, there is nowhere in scripture that I can find where, you know, during Jesus's, you know, time on earth where he pushes and tell you, you know, that, you know, you're gonna do this, you're gonna change it. You know, he just laid it out and left it alone. He gave us free will and free choice. And so what we do with it, it's on us. You know, he said we should go out and spread the gospel. He didn't say anything that we got to beat you over the head with it and make you change. He didn't say that, you know, if you're a Pentecostal, then you got to change to Baptist, or if you're a Baptist, you got to change to Buddhism, or if you're this, no, you know, that's not his message. His message is simple. present the gospel and let us do free will change. And so
Right.
what he was saying that even though you explain again, and Kirk, I believe you did a great job with, recapping that, your faith, from start till now, and how, where you are in your business, the blessings, the favor of God is what got you here. It didn't, nothing you said made a difference, which
Right.
again
Right.
tells
That is
me
more
that
is
this was
more
not a
than just
message
the
from God.
content. Right. Is
No.
yeah.
I felt like he used a back door to get in and attack you.
Yeah.
Using the insurance to get you to open the door, let him
Mm-hmm.
in, and so he can go ahead and attack you. That's all I felt. The whole thing.
Right.
I agree.
That's why when Mark kept telling him to go back to the content, I'm trying to tell Mark it's not about the content.
How can he? That was
It
you
wasn't
can't go back
about
to
it.
it because he had nothing about that.
I told you, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys, man, and kudos to you, my friend. Kudos to you. You know,
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man.
you just keep doing the shows, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I love your content. I learn what I can from you. And next time I'm in Chicago, I don't know, man. Next time in Chicago, I might look you up because I'm from Chi-Town. I'm in Atlanta now.
What part of
But
town? What part of the city you from? What part of the city you from originally?
Schaumburg, over suburb,
Okay. Okay.
down in Atlanta here now for quite a few years. Relocate
Okay.
down there. But my mom is still up there, so I get back up there a couple times a year to hang out with her.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah. Next time you up here, if
I'd
you
love
got
to
some
link up with.
time, yeah, let's do lunch on me.
I agree. All
All
right.
right.
So, but you guys take care, man. I appreciate you, and just keep your head up.
All right,
Appreciate you,
man.
man. Take it
Appreciate
easy.
you.
All right, later. Now, Mr. Jones, you good, Mr. Jones? But where are you getting this definition from, Mr. Jones? Because that's not the definition I pulled up. The definition I pulled up coincides with my idea what nice is, and my definition says pleasant, agreeable, satisfactory. Where are you getting this definition of nice? Where's this definition coming from, Mr. Jones? Mr. Jones, you ain't never not clicked the link. Now you got to come up because you're trying to stir up some mess, Mr. Jones. I don't know. Nice is foolish, ignorant, frivolous, senseless, old French, nice, 12, careless, clumsy. Where are you getting this from? Where are you getting this from? Because the definition that I have coincides, hold on, with my thoughts of what nice is. Pleasant, agreeable, satisfactory. I went out to a restaurant and had a nice time. The time was nice. I enjoyed it. The ambiance. The food was magnifique. It was nice.
Pleasant, agreeable, satisfactory.
Where is he getting this
enjoyable.
definition from? See, he trying to stir up some stuff. And Mr. Jones, I'm disappointed in you, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones. That ain't his burning face. I know Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones done click the link. Mr. Jones is do the, what do you say? The etymology? What is that? What is this? What is this, Mr. Jones? Mr. Jones, you got to come up and explain yourself.
Yeah.
Mr. Jones, I said magnifique. Mr. Jones, come on up, because you tweaking. I don't know what all this is, Mr. Jones, because this is not nice. Nice ain't foolish. Goofy is foolish. Goofy, yo, goofy. We got a button. Hold on, Mr. Jones. Hold on. We're going to bring you up, Mr. Jones. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Mr. Jones want to come up and talk. Kurt, Mr. Jones want to come up and talk. Mr. Jones, we got a button for foolish, and it ain't nice. The button ain't nice, Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, The button ain't nice.
Yo, goof ass. Goofy as hell.
That's foolish.
Hello.
Mr.
What's
Jones,
up, gentlemen?
What's up?
Oh man,
What up?
How's everybody doing?
Man, Mr. Jones, you tweaking.
Come on, man. Now you know I'm gonna do right now.
You tweaking. What, you
Hang
got
on,
your
hang
wife beat on? You got your
Hang
wife beat on? Mr. Jones, don't tell you got your wife beat on?
I'm learning. Hold up now. I may not be as fast as y'all. What's up, brother?
What's
up,
going
man?
on?
Everybody okay?
Bless.
we good.
I just take okay. Now, did you see the link I put in your chat?
You
Bring
can't
that
put
up.
no link. You can't put no link in the chat.
I could not.
No.
Okay, well then do this, my brother. Just do this. Hold on a second. Now. Hold on a second.
What's
You know,
up?
They get frozen in traveling. Never
Oh,
came
I'm-
back.
Talk to.
You say
Hold on,
Afro?
hold on.
Who is it?
Wait, hold on.
Who? What?
Hold on,
Don't
hold on,
get
hold on.
frozen.
Who?
Hold on,
What?
Mr. Jones. Hold on, let me pull you up. There you go.
Man, please. What are you talking about, Afros, young man? My
No, I
shirt
say
is
a
better.
link.
Oh, the link. It ain't. It better. Well, fix it on somebody else end.
Hold on, Mr. Jones. I got you, big dog. I got you. Let's see. Hold on, we got you. I don't know why all my settings done got. I got to re-go in it back into pre-production and hold
I
on.
thought it took that link though, Mark.
Hold on, hold on. My production, all my pre-production stuff then got. Hold on. All right, there we go.
Okay. You see it?
All right. Yeah, we got you. What's
Okay,
going?
now.
No, hold on. No, I was doing production stuff, but hold on.
Okay.
Let me look for your link. You talking about the etymology? There's no
Yeah, did you
link
look up
there.
the etymology of nice?
That's not a link. You just put a word, Mr. Jones. I'm looking
No,
for.
sir.
You talking about a link?
Later,
So
I
just
put a link. Later,
so
I
you
put
want
a
so
link.
what? So you want me to look up etymology, right? The definition.
Look up the etymology of nice.
The etymology of nice, or you want me to look up the word etymology?
Etymology is. If you don't know, look up what etymology is.
I'm
Find
looking it
that.
up. The study.
Okay. Look up.
Hold on. Let me,
Yes,
let
go
me
ahead.
The
The study of
origin of
the
words
origin.
and the okay,
The origin of words.
and
Now
their
look up nice.
meanings.
Now go to the etymology online dictionary and look up nice and tell me what it says.
Okay, wait. Okay, hold on.
The origin.
No.
The
Hold on. Let me understand etymology
Go
first,
ahead.
because this
Yeah,
may
okay.
be some type of belief system that I don't
No, it's
believe in.
not. No, it's not.
Oh,
Do the definition
hold on.
of it. No, it's not.
Etymology, the study of the
Yeah.
origin of words and the way in which their meanings have changed throughout
Yes.
history.
Right.
Okay.
So it means
So
what it meant prior to now. You know, words change. The meaning and definition of words
okay,
change.
well, okay, so we listen, Mr.
Come on now,
Jones.
just look it up now. Just do it, brother. Do the research.
The word
now.
nice has a fascinatingly complicated etymology, or originating from the Latin word nescius, ignorant,
Yes.
unaware, and listen, Mr. Jones.
When you read the dictionary, these are the first things that you get
Mr.
in the
Jones,
dictionary.
Mr. Jones, check it out.
Go ahead.
With
ahead.
all due respect, because
Go
you my
ahead. I'm
elder.
good.
You my
I'm
elder.
good.
I respect my elders.
I respect you too, and it's your channel.
Listen.
I'm listening.
Is this some what is this? Because nice is in the Webster dictionary. This is what I was taught in school. Hold on. Let me cook. Then I'm gonna let you cook. The way I was brought up, the definition from my understanding from when I was started being educated. When I have conversations with my friends, my mother, my father, my brother, even people in here, nice means nice, like agreeable, pleasant. You agree?
So Carter G. Woodson wrote a book and said the miseducation of the Negro.
I told the book. I got the book.
Okay, then. Let's go back to the origin of the word, where the word comes from.
Which word?
See if we utilize nice.
Okay, come on, cook, man. Cook. I'm gonna let you cook.
If we go back and we start saying things in its proper context, if we put it down the way it's supposed to be and stop going on this what it sounds like now.
then we can get back to who we are. Okay? Who we are. But see, we're going on what it is today. See, we didn't leave we transversed that Atlantic many times. You all are talking about Christianity. Christianity is young. Christianity is young. That's how that on Easter they killed that Jesus over there in that mosque. You know doggone well they were gonna kill that Jesus. You going and whose book are y'all debating? Are you debating the one that most people use today? Or who was that? King James?
We not debating. Hold on, we not debating religion. If you watched the stream the other day, which I think I saw you in the chat,
Yeah,
I was trying to figure out what was going on. I was questioning. I was asking questions that weren't answered. You dig what I'm saying? So this is why we here today. You see what I'm saying? So we never had a debate on religion. It was never a debate.
He wouldn't say what his religion was.
He wouldn't say a lot of things. He came over here and started a bunch of everything and didn't finish nothing. You dig what I'm saying? He didn't finish nothing.
So we assume that he was a Jehovah's Witness. Almost sound like.
Listen, here's the thing. That was one of the things that crossed my mind too. See, when you come and you stir a pot and you introduce something but don't finish it. So now we got a lot of different things. We got a lot of different conversations about. I've heard Jehovah, I've heard Mormon, I've heard Hebrew Israelite, I've heard the devil. I've heard a bunch of different things and a bunch of different assumptions because there was nothing. He didn't claim anything. He just started a bunch of different conversations and didn't finish them.
Okay, he did. Now, I missed what blew up. I wasn't on at that time. I give you that. When I did come on, you all was having that topic, and I kept putting in there, what is his faith? What does he go by? What does he believe? What is his belief? What does he believe? Is he Jehovah's Witness, Baptist, CME, AME?
We don't know. He won't say. I think I asked him, he wouldn't tell.
So that behavior reminds me of people knocking on my door, right? And they only want to get their point across. They never want to hear. They'll invite you out to the hall and all that, but they don't want you to invite them to your church or to hear your belief system. They only want to deliver theirs. So that's what led me, if this, then that. So that's what made me believe that he was Jehovah's. I have a whole side of my family that's Jehovah's Witness. Trust me, when somebody died, they won't even come to the funeral. They definitely will not sit up and talk about that, that belief that Charles got them believing in. Charles, the founder of the Jehovah's Witness, you know what I'm saying? Who did not want black people in it initially. Okay? See, we got to go back, and we got to get the history of this stuff. Okay? The history. That's the only way. We got to go back to the origins of things. Okay? That's where we're going to find what this stuff is really going on around us. Okay? I'm not no conspiracy theorist or anything like that. But if I can go back into history and trace history back, then I don't have to let history repeat itself on me. Okay? Not going to repeat itself. So now.
Okay. You're going to break down this nice? Okay.
Go
ahead.
Well, now you know what etymology is. Now you go back and look up some more words and you'll figure out some more things of what it meant.
Right.
So you want me to learn English? You want me to learn English all over again then?
Well, I want you to go a little bit deeper than English, actually. I don't want you just to stop at English. You're too intelligent for that. Yeah.
Mr.
Exactly.
Jones. Yeah, what you on, Mr. Jones? Mr. Jones, what you on tonight? What you on tonight, Charlie?
I'm going to stay up.
What you on, Charlie?
Man. Huh? We going to stay up, baby.
What you on, Charlie? We gonna come on.
No, this is every day now. See me. None of that. Don't come to me with that. No, none of that. None of that. I'm gonna kill him too. You see, I'm gonna kill him too. I'm gonna do my devotional. I'm gonna do my devotional time because see, I'm just a believer in a one God. And I know that God came long before Christianity, Because see, we had people in Africa over in what we call ancient times, over 40,000 years ago. What did they believe then before Christianity? Could you only imagine? That was then. So our ancestors did not have a belief system. What was that? When did Christianity come in? Have you even, y'all got to do that research. What was Christianity? When did it come? What was the time frame? What was going on? This faggot that wrote this book, King James.
Whoa. Hold on. Whoa. Mr. Jones.
Is it questionable? You don't believe me?
Mr. Jones.
Come on with it.
We cannot use that word. We cannot use that word.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
No. The F word. You can't say that, and then you can't say it as it pertains to the Bible.
I thought that this was a strong channel.
It's a strong show, but here's the thing: the King James version is a book.
Who was
that?
I
don't know. I don't know who he was, but you can't. Mr. Jones.
When you read the book, where do you start? Where do you start reading the book at?
At the beginning.
On the spine, do you not?
Mr. Jones, here's the thing. You can't say certain things.
Oh, what is it? Is it restricted?
This ain't, you know what I'm saying? This ain't X. Did you think this?
Well,
you gotta go over there with Kanye and them on X. You can say whatever you want on X.
I apologize. All right? I don't want nobody to cut nobody's time off.
So you can't say certain things.
Okay, so how y'all phrase it over here then?
How we phrase what?
I can't say it.
Hold on. Don't use the F word.
Okay, give me something else. What would you use?
Here's the thing. Hold on. Don't use the F word. Don't disrespect any religion, because what you talking about, the King James version, Hold on, Mr. Jones.
Is facts disrespectful? Are facts disrespectful?
My mother reads the King James version.
My grandfather taught me up in that stuff too.
But here's the thing. That's what we standing on. So you can't come over here. Listen. You can say what you want to say, but don't disrespect anybody's faith.
Is that disrespectful to tell the truth?
You just said
disrespectful.
You just called the man an F.
Look it up and see if I'm lying. Then look it up.
You just called him an F.
Look it up and see if I'm lying. Is the truth okay to say? Is it okay to state a fact?
Listen, Mr. Jones.
I'm just asking a question. That's a yes or no.
That's your fact.
No, it's not. I don't have facts.
So what you got?
I have my truth. You have your truth. You don't have facts. Truths come together. Now remember my time in the law, okay? You raise your hand to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You will come to the fact.
Here's what I'm saying. Let's not offend anybody.
Let's not offend
anybody's face.
Was that offensive?
Do people read the King James version of the Bible?
1 + 1 = 2.
Hold on. Do people read the King James version?
Sure they do.
Okay, so stop. Do you think, based off what you said, the people that follow the King James version and be truthful would be offended by what you just said? Be honest.
Not if they want to know the truth.
No. A person that follows the King James version, based off what you just said, would they be offended?
Not if they want to know the truth.
See, you answering the question. Come on, Mr. Jones. Let's not do that. I'm telling you, man.
Let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
I won't do it, but I won't say it.
No. Because if you disrespect somebody,
that's and you disrespect.
Hold on. You called the man an F.
It's the fact. It ain't. I'm not hyper on that. It's a fact.
Oh God.
Lord, now I won't say it no more. We'll play like it's not true.
No, we don't have to play like anything. If you listen, if you believe what you believe, that's your belief. I'm not here to alter your beliefs.
I'm through with that. You an intelligent brother. You could research that. Maybe we'll holler about it in the Discord. Maybe.
right.
It ain't no big deal to me. But I really now back on CJ, if I could, please.
Go ahead,
Now,
man.
you and CJ, y'all are professional brothers. Very professional brothers. I love it. I love it. Okay. And maybe you all both would benefit from a one-on-one conversation.
I don't want
Okay.
it.
I, brother, and take your time at getting to that point that you would take it. Okay. Take your time and and just go into who you are. Because I've seen you now. Okay. Like I said before, when I first glanced over your channel, right?
Yep.
Even I turned off of it. But then there was that
You
one
said
time that I said,
you was turned off. Why?
well, just because of how how you are, how brash, like you're just straightforward. You tell the truth, man. You knock it out. You kind of, you give them that what we would call that hood take on it. You know what I mean? Hey, y'all
Hood.
chop it up.
What you
Yeah,
say? I'm
y'all chop
ghetto.
it up in a certain
What you
manner.
saying? I'm ghetto or something? What you talking about?
Oh, I didn't say you get.
What you
You ain't gotta
said?
be.
The
Man, you ain't
hood,
gotta
man.
be.
Ain't you from Orange
No.
Mound? You from Orange
Yes, I
Mound,
am.
ain't you? All right, then act like you from Orange Mound.
Greater
Talking
Orange
about
Mound,
then.
Tennessee.
All right, then. All right, then.
Yeah, Greater Orange Mound.
All right, then.
The largest black community that was first owned. The largest black community. The largest mass of land that black people own. I'm pro there, brother. I'm pro there, brother. Come on now. Come on there now. I'm in the hood. I'm in the hood.
So what you talking about? So it turns you off. Why? Because it was too direct, and you just don't understand the verbiage.
No. It just didn't sound like something that I was looking for. Okay.
Okay. All right.
I was just
But
scanning through, bro.
but then you came back.
I
Though. Okay, I'm gonna let you finish. All right, you got it.
I heard somebody else say, no, give him a chance and listen to him. Give him a chance and listen to him. You just be telling him what's up. And I did. And I came back and I listened. And you know what? And I'm very impressed, man. Y'all are doing an awesome job. Y'all are doing an awesome job. That's why I'm here all the time, because I'm still learning, and I watch other content and I see that you give it a certain way. CJ's goal and mission is something a little bit different. And if either offended the other, right? Being that we are brothers, right? I'm gonna go to my brother and I'm gonna apologize just like I just did, But now, it still is not going to negate what the truth is, even though I apologize. Okay. I will apologize if it makes someone feel bad because that's not my position.
Nobody feel bad.
I'm not soft either. I'm not soft either because of the way I am. You know what I mean? Because I get tired of, what I do for a day when I'm not farming is I put that damn badge on. I tell brothers what to do.
What badge?
Shelby County Sheriff.
You the popo?
Shelby County Sheriff badge.
You
See, and I
locking
tell
brothers up. You locking brothers up.
I will. If you don't listen, if you don't listen, but I'm going to give you all and more chances. I'm gonna give you all and more chances. I'm not that fool. I'm not what I used to be when they first got around. You understand what I'm saying? See, now I see you. Now I've wised up. You see. So yeah, when I'm not farming, that's what I do. I serve warrants and stuff like that. And to sue you over $125, I see plenty of people going to civil court for less than that. Corporations do it all the time. You doggone Skippy. I'm gonna get me a lawyer. I'm gonna sue you for my lawyer fees, my filing fees, and everything. And the judge is gonna give it to me.
Mr. Jones. We not suing nobody over no $1.25, over no $125. We not doing that. We not doing that, Mr. Jones. I will never listen. That's a waste of time, bro. Excuse me, Mr. Jones. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
NLB do it all the time.
Man, listen. We not finna No, because see, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of time. Sometimes
once you give it to your lawyer, you don't have no time but to go to court. Once you give it to your lawyer, that's it.
$125. We not fret. So you'll sue somebody for $125.
I'm coming for it. I'm coming for it because you're gonna come for me. The rest of them gonna come for me.
Man, if you owe me $125, I'm gonna call Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna tell you, don't call us no more, Mr. Jones.
I'm gonna call up one of these dime lawyers. I'm gonna put them on the case, and they're gonna send somebody out there to serve you. And I'm
damn lawyers. Listen what you just said.
Listen what I said. That's right.
2-bit hustler lawyers, Goldberg. We're gonna eat them up. We're gonna, Mister, you sue me for $125. You gonna owe me everything you got.
Come on, man. I'm gonna go.
You owe me everything. You gonna get you. You gonna go get you a 2-bit and you gonna go get exactly a 2-bit hustler lawyer, and it ain't gonna get no far. By the end of the day, you gonna be like, damn, I done stepped in some shit.
All of them.
Go ahead and get you a 2-bit. Yeah, you is. Cause you go get you a 2-bit hustler lawyer, and you and here's the thing. Cause see, that's listen.
I know them that are good.
That's great. Go get you a 2-bit hustler lawyer and go after somebody with some deep. And go after somebody with some long pockets with the right lawyer. You going that 125 that you end up chasing, you gonna owe me.
No.
No, you gonna owe me. Goldberg getting cats off with the brick got caught with the brick. The police witnessed him put the brick in the brick in the dashboard, and Goldberg got him off with 2 bricks, and the police witnessed it. Goldberg, you know the name. It started with a J and ended with a W. You did what I'm saying. You gotta tread lightly. See, this is what you gotta understand, and this is all jokes aside. Time is of the hold on. Listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying.
I saw that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, he ain't talking about your lawyer. He know who Goldberg is. You from the city, you know who Goldberg is. Now listen.
You gonna pay, and you gonna 120. You gonna pay, and you gonna pay my attorney.
Okay, so let's role play. Let's role play. Let's say you do that, and we countersue. And our lawyer, because you said you already going for a 2-bit hustler lawyer.
Well, now that's just us talking. Now, come on, let's be for real. That's just us talking. But
only a 2-bit hustler lawyer gonna take that case.
No.
Yes, there is. Most lawyers are gonna tell you, hey, the same thing my lawyer told me when a company owed me 11. You want to spend 5 chasing 11?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we talking about thousands.
Yes.
So just to not even, just not, no, listen. You know what, Mr. Jones, I'm not even going to argue this. You got it.
We're not arguing. One thing we're not
I'm not going to debate it. I'm not going to debate it. And I don't debate
people about things that I know. So I'm not debating. I do
what
not
are you looking
debate
at? What are you looking at? What are you looking at, Mr. Jones? Yeah, what are you looking up at?
You know what? I have to try to, I'm trying to stay with the comments too, and I got it on my big
that's
screen.
y'all problem. That's y'all problem. Y'all worry about the comments. I don't think about the comments.
No. I ain't worried about anything. Not to worry now. We're gonna go to that college on that.
So you having a conversation. You came up here with this etymology stuff, talking about we gotta learn English all over again, and nice means bad things. So if nice mean bad things, then what bad things mean? Come on, Mr. Jones, cook. Because you worry about the comments. The people in the comments we having a conversation. You focus on the comments.
I can definitely do multiple things now. Okay.
All right, talk to me, man. Talk to me.
All right. Now, what we're talking, I gave you the resources. It's not for me to be able to have to give you the answer. To teach a man to fish, he'll never go hungry. So you will go now, and eventually you will look what I said up. You will look it up, and you will just choose certain words that you are so accustomed to, that we are in this society just accustomed to using. And you'll say, wow, wait a minute, that word didn't mean that before. Nice. Nice. Just imagine a brother one day dressed up in nice tuxedo, come out of the big house, and he got this tray with tea for the madam in. For the madam sitting on the porch. And she and her friend sitting on the porch, saying, oh, he's so nice. He's such a damn fool. He's so foolish and crazy. He's bringing me all this tea and ain't got no poison in that stuff. He's so nice.
What?
Go back in the time. Go back in the time frame. Do the etymology. Look at the time frame for what it meant then. Think about what was going on at the time, and just imagine, what that meant. Go back to the origin of the word.
You got too much time, Mr. Jones.
No, man, this has just come from a lot of study, brother. I keep this. I keep this Black Law 6 dictionary right here. Hang on a minute. Let me turn. No, I ain't gonna show you that. Sorry about that, gentlemen. But I keep that Black Law 6 right there, handy, very handy. Okay, this is the 6. This is what's on all the judges' desks right here. Okay, this one. Got to keep that. For real, baby.
Okay.
All right. For real, baby. Let's not play. We're not talking about just box trucking, see. You're not talking about just vans. Hey, man, I got a whole lot of history, baby. And I don't debate things that I know.
All right.
Okay?
I'm just respecting you. I'm just respecting your opinion.
You too, brother. I love y'all. I respect you too. I love what you've done. And I know that you're going to one day be you and that brother. See, I go for peace over anything.
I'm peaceful.
I know you are.
I don't go messing with people, and starting like here's the thing. I don't like I'm peaceful. I'm not like, so it's peace. I just don't want to be bothered because I feel like, you came with ill intentions. And, once I went back and looked at it, and then I went back and looked at it again, that's what I saw, because you couldn't explain to me nothing. You see what I'm saying? You attacked me on your channel. You attacked me here, and I let you. I was cool with you. You dig what I'm saying? I never went outside of the content. I actually tried to bring him back to the content. And then as a show of faith, I said, man, I asked him, can I show you some things that you're doing wrong? I just didn't attack him. I asked him permission. You dig what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I didn't do nothing wrong. As a content creator, we react to content. People react to our content. You seen me respond to people that have reacted to my content. It's a part of content creation. Now, everybody's not going to keep it above the belt. I keep it above the belt. He didn't keep it above the belt. Why? You went personal. Now, you went further than personal. You went and started attacking my faith. You see what I'm saying? So it's just certain things you don't do. So, like, I'm not going to, like, it's nothing to, like, go back and forth about, because we talk business, we talk trucking, right? So we're reacting and we're recapping because there was a lot of things that were left open, and we're just having a conversation, based on a lot of the things that were kind of left open. And then I'm going to go talk to my pastor, and I'm going to say, look at this. Look what you think about this. I'm going to go talk to the OG. I already know what the OG going to tell me. She's going to tell me two things. She's going to say, that ain't nothing but the devil. That's what OG going to say. Mm-hmm. That's what she going to say. That's the first thing she going to say. She going to say, that ain't nothing but the devil.
Who you call OG?
My mama.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And then she going to start, like I was showing people in the Discord earlier, she always, yesterday, every time I leave the crib, she write a scripture down. And I showed people in the Discord. I look what my mom gave me. She said, "Read this." She write it down and she give it to me to read. You see what I'm saying? So then she gonna want me to go talk to the pastor. I already know I'm gonna talk to the pastor. I didn't do nothing wrong. But we just unpacking it. You see what I'm saying? We just unpacking it. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm peaceful. It's just that I just certain things like, man, it's just like it's best to just, if you cross a certain line, man, just go ahead and stay where you at.
Now, the bigger thing would be,
What's the bigger thing, Mr. Jones?
Is to see if there's space that we could make sure that we have no animosity toward one another.
Ain't no animosity.
Okay, good. That's most important.
I said what I said based on what I saw.
I think both of y'all have a healthy respect for the other. I mean, his business model is one thing, and what you have been able to accomplish is.
You said we have what for? You said we have what for each other? What was the word you used? What was that word you used?
You have. What was I speaking of? Where you all won't have any animosity.
Ain't no animosity. There's no animosity.
Exactly.
He listen, let me explain something to you. There's no animosity. He showed who he is. I handled it really, really well. I could have went left. I was peaceful then. We're just recapping it today because, you know, a lot of people want to know my thoughts after going back. When you in the thick of it, it's one thing. When you go back and you can look at it, then look at it again, okay, you see things that you missed when you were in the thick of it. So we're just recapping because people want to know. Like, this has been a topic since that day in my community, even in his community. Well, he doesn't have a community, but from the content he's put out, the comments, you see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of, because there was things that were brought up, but they weren't answered.
Yeah.
So it's just that it's like, no, it's no big deal. Ain't nobody going he did some shit that I just would never do. Cause I deem what he did as some sucker shit. That's sucker shit. It's a sucker shit.
He wouldn't say it like that.
Huh?
He wouldn't say it like that.
He ain't gonna say it like that. Cause he don't know what he don't know what sucker shit is. He thinks a compliment is an insult. And you're a nice guy. He thinks that's an insult. Like, what? Where we do that at? Well, you see what I'm saying? So it's not an insult, Mr. Jones. It's not an insult. Okay. So check it out. So check this out. So check this out, Mr. Jones. Okay. So okay, that's what I did. So if you took it that way and then you watch and you see where I explained what I meant, okay, I think you misunderstood it. And then I tried over and over and over again. And then I went further and proved it. Like, yo, there's another video I was reacting to in that same live stream. And for that content, I was way more aggressive. If I would have thought if I would have looked at you like a nice guy was like a sucker, then I would have approached it like I approached that situation. You watch my show. I got buttons. Goofy. I gotta hit the button. If I'm telling you you're nice and I explain it, no, I think you're a really cool guy. Right, that's what it is. If I thought you was something else, I would.
Goofy as hell.
You a goofy. It's like this button has existed for 2 years now.
Yeah.
We ain't holding the button back. We ain't never held the button back. The button is there for a reason.
Both of y'all have great experiences. Both of y'all have something to bring to this space, and I think that it's just wonderful that you all put y'all content out there like that.
Yeah.
And like You had Cars and Cribs on. You know, then you got the other cat.
Let me tell you what, Cars and Cribs, my man. You know why Cars and Cribs, my man? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. And this what Kirk up here. Me and Kirk had an issue last year. Cars and Cribs is the only content creator that I've come across that I've not had any. Like, he's been a genuine guy since the moment he reached out to me. He's been 100% genuine. And I told him this. I'm not telling you something that I haven't told him. He hasn't did any no hating, none of that shit. You know, he's always been a genuine guy. I got a lot of respect for Cars and Cribs. Out of all the content creators that I've come across, he's the most genuine one. I got a lot of respect for him. You see what I'm saying? So since you named his name, I want to give him his flowers. And I've told him this. I told him this. Ain't no sucker shit. He ain't never did no sucker shit. Ain't no undermining, no slick talking, all this shit these sucker niggas do. He ain't never did none of that shit. So this is something I've told him in private. I actually texted to him maybe like a month ago. And I just was placed on me to send him that. And since you brought it up, I'm just going to say it publicly. It's nothing wrong with giving a person they flowers. And that's an issue in our community. That's the problem. Sometimes we don't know how to articulate ourselves. What we really want to say is, brother, can you help me? And the way we do it is by hating. They take that H out of asking for help, and then they turn it into an action of hate. Man, can you help me? That's an issue in the community.
That is true. That is true. That is true.
And to be honest with you, that's how me and him met. He reached out to me behind the scenes. And that's how we built that connection.
That's good.
And that's why there has been nothing. It's all been love. Because it was genuine.
And that's the way it's supposed to be. We supposed to be able to love on one another. See, they took that away from us a long time ago. Okay.
They did, but they did.
I tell you, I love you. One of these people on here gonna think that, oh, Mr. Jones weak, Tony weak. Tony
No, they wouldn't, because real people, real cats don't look at shit like that. Only suckers look at shit like that.
Let me correct myself. In certain places, people will mistake that. Okay.
Okay. We call them Middle Americans. We call them Middle Americans. Yeah, but it's some real people in Middle America. That's all. It's just like me and Kirk had the conversation the other day. He was talking about loyalty, and I said, "No, Kirk, that ain't loyalty. That's on the individual. It has nothing to do with loyalty." So if you tell another black man that you love him, only a weak black man would take that as a sign of weakness. There's nothing wrong with telling. If you have genuine love and respect for somebody, it's nothing wrong with saying that.
Man, I just love you because you. You.
And that's fine.
I just love you because you.
And that's fine.
You go through the same human experience as I am. You trapped here just like I am.
And that's fine. But I think the problem in our community is the envy and the jealousy and the hate. Like, I don't see how you can carry that shit. That shit, like, to carry that shit gotta be weighing on it. Like, that shit look like it be weighing on these cats.
It's been ingrained in them.
All right, and so this is a conversation we had. I get it. I understand, and it take a strong mentality and a strong individual to understand that and to break that curse.
Absolutely.
So it's still a lot of weak people out here. It take a strong person Because I
That's right.
already know it's conditioned. Like Kirk always liked to bring up, and he said we were going to talk about it, this whole in the house thing.
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
Explain it, Kirk.
Yeah, like people like to say you're home. So, that's an issue that we always talk about, because a lot of time, because I was trying to explain to you that because a lot of time people see their loved ones, like their mom and their grandfather or father, work till they're 60, 70. A lot of time when you retire, it's a problem. It seems a weight to them. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like
So,
Mr. Jones right now, right? You still work, right, Mr. Jones?
Yeah, I work and I'm retired.
Right. So okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like they expect Mark to be doing the same thing you're doing, and if he doesn't, it's a problem.
Oh no.
So it's a conditioned mindset.
It's a conditioned mindset.
You can't win. It's like you can't win. It's like go ahead.
But now I was on here one night, brother, and you bought out. You was looking for a box, and you got a little box out, okay? And you bought all them bills, from where other people you was cross docking or something like that. You see, you brought the receipts out.
It wasn't enough.
So you don't have to. You don't have to debate nobody about what you've done.
But I don't no more. But I don't. But sometimes you gotta. Sometimes you gotta do it. I do it less now because, I've been doing this it'll be 3 years next month. Only a fool can just sit up here and watch my channel and just. If you hear me talk on business in this space, you should know that I've done it, right? So when people say ignorant things, and somebody brought something to me, another content creator said the other day, that's hate. Because if you look at it like this, okay, he's opinionated, but he ain't out here. Fuck you. Excuse my language.
No, go ahead, baby.
Hold on. Because here's the thing. We look at it like this. I can look at JJ Redick. He's retired. He coaches the LA Lakers. He coaches LeBron. So is he less credible because he's no longer active in the game?
Oh,
no.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Look at Hakeem Olajuwon. He coaches for free. A lot of your most accomplished players go in the summer and work out with Hakeem Olajuwon. Is he not credible? Because he's retired from the league? No. His experience is why these players go down and work with him, right? JJ Redick's experience is the reason why he's coaching the Lakers. Ty Lue. His experience is the reason why he's now coaching. His experience. You're not out here. No. And I'm humble. Because it's some things I really want to say to these old cats when they say this shit. You really don't want to know what I want to say. And I could prove to you that I've been humble with these cats.
No, well, I mean.
Let me tell you something. I can say, because I could really, when they say this dumb shit to me, I could be like, what the fuck you been doing the past 20, 25 years? See, now if I say that, then I'm bogus.
Well,
so
I'm going to tell you something like, go ahead.
No, I'm not talking to you because I could respond that.
No, you take that.
You dig what I'm saying? While you worried about why I'm here, my question to you could be here too. What the fuck you been doing the past 20 years? Because I can tell you what the fuck I've been doing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So while you questioning one thing, you should be questioning what you've been doing the last 20 years. See, now that's me being cocky. And I've been saving that because I think about how other people who may be in that situation may get that straight indirectly that's not even intended for them. And that's why I refrain from saying certain things, because I look at the full scope. I've never witnessed why so many other grown ass men worry about another man. This shit needs to be studied. This shit needs to be studied.
Mm-hmm.
Experience is experience. That's just like the conditioning shit. The field nigga and the house nigga.
Mm-hmm.
The field nigga didn't like the house nigga. Why? Because the house nigga was in the house. He was getting the good slop. He was getting the hand-me-down clothes from massa. Right? The house nigga didn't like the field nigga.
Because they didn't know how to work together as a team. Find some reason to divide. See, if they worked as a team.
No. They were conditioned to not like each other. They were conditioned to not like each other. Hold on. So it's the same situation here. You in the house, the motherfucker that, damn, let me stop. The person that's still in the, no. I have to respect you. The person that's still in the field is angry that a person is in the house.
Harry Tubman said, I could have saved thousands more if they only knew. See, we can't save everybody.
No, it's not about. Go ahead.
You're gonna have some of that. You're gonna have that.
I'm cool with it. I'm built for this shit. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
John Henry Clark left us, and he said, I only debate my equals. I could listen to your conversation on whatever topic it is, and if you don't have at least equal knowledge as I, then I'm gonna teach you something.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. People take you teaching them something, then you have some suckers that they overlook the education and they worry about your setting. Oh, you're not out here. That's the hoest. You a hoe. That's some hoe shit. You see what I'm saying? That's some sucker shit. Anybody that worries about where another man is at, listen, I don't give a goddamn if you was in the sweat. If you could be sitting in the lion's den. If you got good information on the topic, what does it matter? Especially if you have played the game. Now, it's up for debate if you want to educate and you ain't played the game. But if you played the game and you exited at a high level and you got years of experience, what makes that individual different from a coach that played basketball, left the game of basketball, and now is a professional coach? What's the difference from a person who, okay, go ahead.
You told the truth. You know, on that day that I saw you with that box of all that paper. See, I know what that looks like, from previous things I've done in my past, So you had your documentation. You call it these are your receipts right here. This is what they brought to you and what you shipped out and how you did that. So at that point, there's no debate that you have had major contracts. There's no debate that you've had major contracts. And that was a level of success for you. Let me ask you a question. Was that at your height of your business? You was in operation?
I know which live stream you're talking about. That box, that was at the latter part. Those were all bills from me cross-docking. So that was all freight that was coming into my warehouse.
Was that at the height of your business?
That was, that was, I would say, my peak. I was already peaked at that
peaking
point.
Up then? Yeah, you
I was already peaked at that point. I was already peaked at that point.
Okay.
So
and you learned business and you was able to go out there and get that contract. See.
Well, hold on. Let me talk about that, because this kind of correlates with the whole God thing. I didn't even go out and seek that.
Probably didn't. Exactly.
That company that sent me the freight to cross dock, they called me.
Your work. See, your work.
You see what I'm saying? So like I didn't go seek that. And you know what's crazy about that particular opportunity? It was right on time because I was in a transition period. Now, when I started cross-docking, I talk about it all the time. That first year cross-docking was hell because I underestimated what it entailed. I talk about it all the time, but that opportunity was led to me. You see what I'm saying? So that company, I never knew who, like, I didn't even know at that point in business. I was still under the mind frame, go to a 3PL, apply to 3PL, send your trucks to the 3PL to pick up the freight. I didn't know there were 3PLs that if you had a warehouse would middle mile you the freight and then you can run it the final mile from your facility. I didn't know that until they were cold calling because they needed another facility in my market. They had one out in South Holland. They had veterans distribution, and they needed another one to cover. We covered mostly the north and northwest suburbs. So my trucks were going way. You would know, but to the people that are in Chicago, my trucks was leaving the south side, going all the way to Gurney, Antioch, Zion, way up there, McHenry, way up there, every single day. And there would be a lot of things that I would do different if I was in that situation got presented to me, and I knew then what I know now. I would have did it a lot different to cut a lot of the costs and not understanding how that form of final mile work when you're actually inbound in the freight. But that particular opportunity came to me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like but see, that's all by the grace of God.
There you go. And that's your belief.
You don't have to tell me that. So when another person comes and tries to, question, no, ain't no Mr. Jones, ain't no Mr. Jones. No, you can't. Listen, I'm too gone. And see, that's the thing. You can't pull me down. See that crab in the barrel shit? I ain't in the barrel. I ain't in the barrel.
See.
You can't pull somebody. You can't pull somebody down. You can't pull somebody down that ain't in the barrel. I'm not in the barrel. I've been out the barrel. 2014, I came out the barrel. I ain't been in no barrel. You can't pull me. I ain't trying to crawl out the barrel. You let me escape. You can't pull me into no barrel. I'm gone already. We done crawled away. We got to the back. You can't call me out the back. You see what I'm saying?
And that's it. See, once you have experienced this, what is success is different from every individual.
Appreciate that super chat. Go ahead, you can talk. I'm listening
to you. For every individual, your success level of what you saw was, woo, you know what I mean? You had responsibilities. You had trucks out there, multiple trucks out there. You had people out there that could be killing other folk and all kind of crazy, stupid stuff going on. Okay?
That was my biggest fear.
Exactly.
Somebody hitting an actual person. That's what my biggest fear was.
Now, if I could just slide over to CJ. See, CJ. Just a minute. Just give me one. Just bear with me one time, please. See, his total model is just to give him something to do a day. He's not $200. I know some days, like some people say they don't make $200 a day. But
why are you telling me this?
His goal is just $200.
Okay,
that's what he said. That for? And that's success for him.
Yeah, that's good for him. We trying to $200 for me. Yeah.
Exactly. You're gonna go to lunch. You're gonna go get you some manicures and stuff, dog. You're gonna go get your hair.
Yeah, that ain't. Hey Kurt. Hey Kurt.
Come on now. But see, he already had a source of income coming in from him being in the Navy, I understand, right? Or something like that. I think that brother's in the Navy, I was in the Marine Corps myself, So he got that. Shit. He got that coming down. whether it's 70% or 100%. See, but he bases what his family needs, and based on what we think.
We ain't
Which
worried
was
about that, Mr. John. We not counting. Give me some more stuff to talk about. We ain't
well,
worried
that's
about what no other
that's
person
all, y'all.
doing.
That's all. That's what the. Other than that,
Yeah, I don't
think
want to talk about what no other dude getting and what he got to do as his business.
Yeah, exactly. His business, and I wasn't caring about
We
how
not
much.
counting we not counting other
Only
people's
because he
pockets.
mentioned that on his channel. Only I said that only because he mentioned that on his channel in open public. But his business model is not set up the way he's going to go out there and run and work that hard.
Okay, well, I'm trying to figure out what the point.
The religion thing,
huh?
I said, but that religion thing, he wouldn't answer that, and that just led me to believe that he was of a certain belief system, and I know they're not going to discuss it, man.
Well, what's the belief system then?
Well, I thought he was, I really do think he's a Jehovah's Witness,
Okay.
So, but well, other than that,
I ain't going to assume. I don't know. I really don't. I don't really care. But I just.
Yeah. You all right, man? Okay. Yeah.
So, but we just, I just wanted you let you come up here and you can react your thoughts on.
Oh
the
yeah, man. I don't mind sharing my little, I don't mind sharing. Number one is all about peace with me, and especially amongst amongst us, those that had this melanated skin, man. Like, that we love on each other, do the right thing by each other, help and pull each other up. Like if we can.
Man, the people that want to get pulled up, we get pulled up. We gonna do our part. I'm doing my part. You dig what I'm saying? But some people don't want to get pulled up, and they can stay down. And people who want to get pulled up will get pulled up. And
I personally appreciate you, man. I really do. I personally, I gather a lot, especially when we talking about the trucking line.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you just for being you.
Oh man, just for being you. See that?
You know what I'm saying?
Now we all can share that love, that one love, baby. It'll be all right.
Well,
hey, but look at y'all guys. Have a good night, peace, and have a prosperous day tomorrow. Everybody stay safe. Look here, put them guns down. Down here, man, we had 4 killings over the weekend, and a big deal down in Marshall County, Mississippi, where my farm is. They had a big trail ride, and they had some shooting going on down there, man. Y'all be careful out here, brothers.
All right.
All right, peace.
All right, man, peace.
Out.
All right.
I'm trying to learn hanging up.
I'm gonna help you out, Mr. Jones. I'm gonna hang it up for you. All right.
Thank you, brother.
All right. All right. Oh man, Mr. Jones.
Oh man.
All right. Well, we're gonna take one more, and then I'm gonna be done.
You got somebody else?
I think it was one more person. Now's your chance. Appreciate that super chat, Cordell. You've been a great inspiration. Cordell is someone that I answer his questions when he have them in the Discord. Here we go. Here we go. Sorry. Here we go. Yo. We can't see you or hear you. I know who it is. I'm gonna surprise you. We can't hear you. We can't hear or see you. You muted yourself now. All right, now he.
Yeah, put it on the rest of it. Hey, how are you? Both of you guys, how are you?
What's up, man? Good night.
Hey, Costas.
What's going on, Kurt?
What's going on, man?
Never mind. Go ahead.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
We don't see you. Hold on.
Okay.
Do me a favor, Kosa. Hang up.
Yep.
Because you got it open in 2 different windows. Close both windows out and then call back up. this finna be another hour. So I'm gonna let you talk. Popo, here come the Popo. Let me make sure I ain't did nothing bogus. I ain't did nothing to nobody. I ain't did nothing.
The religion police.
Nah, he the Popo.
You gonna come up here.
No.
Start some trouble.
Here we go. I like Costa. That's my man.
Yeah,
leave me alone.
I'm gonna just fall asleep right here tonight.
Nah. I hope he talked to you directly. I hope he don't got no talking point.
Right.
What's up, Costa? What's going on?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, man? How you been?
Chilling.
What's up?
What's going on?
No, so Mark,
you're trying to show in the chat, man. I've been watching you.
I'm just playing around, dude. I know you're doing better, Kirk. No, Mark, I wanted to make this super quick because I literally showed the reaction video to my boss. But the first things first, when I said to hop onto another subject, I wanted to make clear that I couldn't say it while saying it, but remember I messaged you privately about if you ever had an issue, you contact this, and some stuff came up with the person you guys are discussing. So that's why I said I wanted to move on. It had nothing to do with anything else that was being discussed. So that was my only reason for saying move on. Plus the religion side of it is something that I'd rather talk about. But you have, because you mentioned it was you wanted to answer.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. You're in the matrix. You're in the matrix. You're breaking up. You were fine until you said, yeah, there you go.
Okay. So you asked the question if you wanted answers, and I wasn't sure what you meant by that, that conversation.
That was the conversation that I was having with him when he came on the stream. So I was questioning, well, all right, tell me, educate me. And he couldn't answer me. It wasn't towards you. I know if I got some questions for you.
So I consider you. Right. But I mean, I'm going to ask you, I consider you, I know you're a highly intelligent person. I think that was, you kind of, maybe you were thrown off by it, but I think that you knew that way that conversation was going. Outside of the religion stuff, he was getting destroyed up there. So I was just confused. You were looking for answers for what, him to educate you on a faith system? I didn't get that part.
Whatever he was trying to tell me something, but he never told me. That's why I kept asking him. So now I'm trying to figure out why he came over. I need because man, it was if a spirit led him, I want to know what type of spirit. I want to know what I'm dealing with up here. I want to know what. So
aside from the stuff aside from the stuff I told you initially, or just at the start of this call, that why I wanted you to change subject, but I'll leave that between us two is, so I went back and showed it to my boss because I was like, I'm curious to see where he went off. So I went back and looked at CJ's videos, and it was literally, there's never been a point besides with the Gig Geezer that this guy's been live. So you essentially ended up breaking him down to a point where, and he was like, look, when he was talking the video, he's not sitting down, he's standing up, he's pacing left and right. He was kind of prepared to go to war over something that I think along the conversation, he knew that he was getting destroyed. So he resorted to going to that religious thing because he believed that's the only thing that you had, or he had a leg up on you, which was absolutely ridiculous. But I don't think he pre-planned that. I think he was getting destroyed in the conversation. And so I showed it to my boss, and he was like, listen, a guy who's a content creator who generally reads all the contents or comments, in the chat, and he's never really been criticized, is going to see kind of what's going on. So he's going to take offense to it. But there's key triggers that you say, I think you called him a fool a bunch of times, or you're tweaking. Nice guys finish last. An embarrassing content creator. That'll throw him off. I understand that that's part of the reaction to the actual content that was being said. But a guy who's never dealt with criticism, and it is what it is, is going to react that way. So he thought, that is our opinion, that he thought he was attacking you. I don't think he thought the religion, I don't think he went into the conversation thinking the religion thing was going to come up. I think he had to resort to that because he had nothing else to go off of, because he was getting destroyed on every single part of whatever you guys were going to talk about it. There was no win for him. So I think he resorted that. And this is half coming from the guy I trained with. But other than that, the reason why I said move on is because of the stuff I told you. So
okay,
it was more so just watching over you and just how someone's going to react to something like that. But honestly, we're Generation X, dude. That's why I said a lot of people, I'm Orthodox, right? So I'm my parents were very strict raising me in the religion, faith. I'm fasting right now, and it's hard for me. I have to do it every year for 40 days. No meat, no dairy, no oil for 40 days. And it's tough. Feel like I'm dying here, but that's it's just the faith. Anytime he started trying to bring his beliefs on you. And then that's why I said I was very impressed, because you were restrained you were really restrained when it coming. I could never do something like that. As soon as someone started attacking my belief systems or trying to tell me how I should be, in a sense, that would have, I would have lost it at that point in time. I don't have that's why I said I was really impressed of how you held that back. But then we continue to talk about it, and then so everyone's going to have a different belief system. But, I just wanted you to move on for what I had told you and what we saw. Nothing to be concerned about, I don't think, but I just wanted to give you and pass that information along to you.
You tell me, when you say what you saw as far as on your end from what it is that you do, that's what you're talking about?
Yes. There's a little instability there.
All right.
Based off some health records and stuff like that. And he's got a registered firearm, so it's public. It doesn't matter. I don't know. This stuff and there's been an issue in the past twice. So I don't want that. There's been incidents with other content creators, not with him. And I never want to say that. I'm sure he's fine. But when there's issues with other content creators, we look for that.
Oh, man.
And I've told you that on a personal level.
Yeah. We ain't. Listen,
You could say that all you want, dude, but it's different. Very different.
It's real different. It's different up here. It's really different. So if you know what's registered there, you know what's registered here. And I should not. And listen, I'm telling you, Kirk, no, he said it. Push your. Woo-wee. Hey, Kirk. Hey, Kirk. Listen, hey, cause yeah, we ain't worried about that. We ain't worried about none of that.
Well,
I appreciate you though. I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, I worry. And I told you, if you have an issue, you have a number to call. So, but other than that, dude, listen, at the end of the day, he's a nerd, just, that's what I'm saying. Move on. You said you were asking for answers. That's not my place. Someone's faith.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying someone's faith is their own. And if someone tries to push that on you, I don't even look for answers or for someone to explain to me why they're trying to do that. I just and I came back from a restaurant industry. So the two things we're forbidden ever to talk about that they teach you is religion and politics. So the very touchy subtext, and 99% of the time, you're never going to be able to change somebody else's viewpoint on that.
So the answers that I'm looking for now is what spirit sent them.
I don't think it was necessarily a script, but that's my opinion. Kirk thinks differently too. I think
not a script, spirit. Cause see, I'm not
Spirit.
worried
I don't
about
think any spirit set him. I think he was backed into a corner, and just that's the way I've been trained. He didn't know how to respond, and he thought he had a leg up on you. I don't think that was a planned part of the conversation. I think he got buried so much being destroyed because everything he was saying, his content was ridiculous. I think he had to resort to that because I think that's the only thing that he believed he had a leg up on you. I don't think that was, and people could disagree with me. That's okay. Like, I don't get into the religion stuff, but I just think you backed him into a corner. He had no out. He's pacing back and forth, left and right, standing up. He was ready to kind of like go to war with the reaction video because listening to his stuff again, he said he was going to be up there for like 2-3 hours going through the video piece by piece, So, and then the guy I train with just said, like, there's certain things that if someone's never been criticized before, if they get called a fool or nice guys finish last, they just don't respond well to it. And that's, signs of someone that doesn't have thick skin or hasn't been through it. And again, he doesn't do lives normally. He doesn't do lives at all. He just does recorded content. And the only live he's ever done was once with the Gig Geezer, and that was just a normal conversation. So I don't think it was, that's just my opinion. And a lot of people disagree with me. I don't think that was anything planned. I just think you destroyed him on every single level in terms of the content. He had no other way out. So he resorted to that. And then, when someone gets defeated or gets attacked, as soon as they go for that low blow, that's a sign of just a weak fighter. And then they get just decimated. But like I said, you did a great job of restraining yourself. Then I think I don't want to say you're not wasting your time. I would never want to put like someone's belief system at question. I just think that it's not something that, at least from what I see, something that you should put this most energy into just because it's like you're way above that level, So as soon as when I try to go in conversations, I'm prepared. Like you had notes, remember? You had notes like when you were doing your live stream, and that like it kind of threw you off because go ahead.
Well, I took those notes during the live stream because at one point he was going on for so long and he was jumping from different topics. So I just started writing notes so I could go back and start covering some of the stuff because I was just letting them go. So I was making those notes while we were live. So
yeah, I know, and the thing is, you obviously didn't expect the conversation to take that direction,
right?
So he, like your prelude to the whole thing, pretty much dismantled everything that I believed he was going to try to like talk about, and the only thing that he was going to try to resort to, but it never got to that point, was just saying like, it's embarrassing that he's talking about this, or if somebody gets called a fool, well, that's somebody's feelings getting hurt, and it's pointless. Who cares, But I don't think it was something like a spirit, as you call it, led him to come, and he was just trying to put himself ahead of you to like demean you because you had him destroyed in every part of it, and you didn't even let him do that, which was awesome, But continuing to talk about it, I didn't know it was that much. I guess it was in the Discord the other day. I did not follow the religion stuff. I just didn't want to kind of be a part of that, just because like. Again, my religion's different. That's between me and my faith, and so it's like I'm Orthodox and we have a few different things, but it doesn't make me, we'll disagree in religion, but that doesn't necessarily mean an argument would come from that. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't even like touching that stuff. But anyway, I'll let you know just that.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up, Cole. You're breaking up. You're in the matrix. You're in the matrix.
Damn.
Yeah, you're in a bad area. It looked like he's sitting still too.
Oh, he's probably driving.
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me
Better
now?
Yeah, we hear you
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, sorry. No, I'm not. I'm in a kind of like a covered,
Hey, I got 2
hidden
phones, man. You want me to
metal
send you one of
tent
them?
thingy. So,
Mhm.
dude, my phone works perfectly all the time. So I don't know. I'm just in a covered like with a metal port over me. But that was it. I was just saying, like, that's why I called in, just to say that's why I said moving on to the next subject. There was something that we had seen. I showed it to my boss. He said, yeah, that's unusual, but it's nothing to really be so concerned about, but just watch it. So that was it.
All right. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no problem. Kirk, you
Appreciate
doing
you,
well?
man. Yes, sir. I see you dropped my
You good?
location the other night, man. Why you do me like that, man?
Nah, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to do that. I know you're good. I know you're good. Just start the dispatching and do it legit. You'll be fine. You can get a lot of people with you.
Yeah.
I'm serious about that. Some people will yell at me for it, but you could be really good at it. So next time you do the call-in show, Mark, I had a question about moving that I wanted to bring up to you, but it's more in depth.
I'll answer for you now. Come on with it.
What's that? No, it's more in depth because I wanted to see my situation changes with what I'm doing, just because we're having some funding issues with the government right now. So I wanted to see if something like that. I wanted to kind of start, but I also wanted to send you a business plan first, just to take a peek at, because I was started from the ground up. But I want you to take a peek at it first, not just a conversation, and then we can still talk about it in depth later on, because I'm still putting it together.
Okay. Anytime, just let me know.
Otherwise, Kirk, you can dispatch me, dude. Watch you.
No problem, man.
All right, fellas. Have a great night. I might pop in the Discord a little bit later.
All right, cool.
man.
All right, bye-bye.
Stay safe.
All right, later. Telling these guys they gotta leave me alone, man. Got friends at high places. Got friends at high places.
You feel better, man? You feel better? You feel better now that you get a clear understanding?
I'm Gucci. I was always Gucci. Kirk.
All right, man.
I've been in the house all day. I literally, I'm lying. I spent the night at my girl's house. I came home this morning. I've been here ever since. I ain't went nowhere today. I've been in the crib chilling. Listen, how can you feel a certain type of way when you can be at home all day?
Big goal, man. See, that's the problem, man. You be too cocky, man.
No, I'm finna start being. Man. So then they can see what's the difference between humble and cocky. Because I've been humble. I've been real humble. And they gonna see the difference.
Antagonize you more, man.
They can't antagonize me. You can't antagonize somebody that's at home.
Yeah.
You gotta figure out
drop that line again. Drop that line again. What they been doing for the last
what you been doing the past 20 years? What you was doing?
What do you mean by that, Mark? What do you mean by that?
Because while you worry about what I'm doing and talking about you ain't out here, okay, you out there. Worry about you.
When you say 20 years, you're talking about if I'm 30 and still don't figure it out?
Especially if we around, Mark. Listen, especially if we around the same age, or you older and you worry about another man, you got to figure out what you did. Life is about choices and decisions. You'd have made a mistake somewhere. You'd have made a mistake.
You can't say that, Mark. We all have different circumstances.
So check it out. Thank you. So you can't get upset.
Mark, I had 3 kids, Mark.
You got 3 kids?
No, I'm just saying. You don't know my situation.
Well, you
Mark,
should be
I've been
telling on
divorced
yourself.
twice,
You just slipped up.
Mark, I've been divorced twice, Mark. You don't know my situation, Mark.
No. Is this are you giving me an example? Or is this like your real life?
Yeah. I'm just giving you an example.
Oh, well then, I don't listen, let me explain something too. We're not talking about a person that hits the link on the call-in show and they come. We talking about the people that say this dumb shit. That's worried
Well, that's
about
what I'm
another
saying. Some
man.
of those
That's
people
just
say the
worried.
same
That's
thing about you.
count other men's pockets. That's saying, "Oh, he not out here, so he can't say." I can say whatever the hell it is I want to say, especially since I played the game. I can
Right.
talk. I can coach you. I can be JJ Redick. I can be Hakeem. I could be Ty Lue because I played the game. You dig what I'm saying? So I can give. Who is in here? You know who's a great example? Running Warrior. I saw Running Warrior posted something a few weeks ago. He said he's walking away. I saw a few people this year say they're walking away. Nightcrawler, I think I saw him a few months ago say he retired at the end of 2024. So Nightcrawler is out. Running Warrior, I saw he's retiring and he's leaving the business to his sons. Now, who do you think Running Warrior's sons are going to come to for consultation? Who do you think they would go to? So Running Warrior's in the chat. He said, I think I saw a few weeks ago, he said he's retiring at the end of the year. He's leaving the business to his sons. Who would his sons come to for consultation?
They're going to come to you.
To him. They're going to go to him.
Oh, to him. Oh, yeah, because you've been in
okay. So not because he's there.
Oh, you're talking about because he retired.
Right.
I see what you're saying.
They're not going to go to him primarily because he's their father, but they're going to him for the experience.
Yeah. And then
he has the experience.
Because he retired, that means, yeah.
He has the experience. They're not going to say, oh, well, you know what, Dad, we can't go to you because you ain't out here no more. So we need to go to our peer that's still out here and get coaching from them. No, they're going to go to him.
The pops, yeah. They're gonna call pops for everything.
And it's not because he's their pops, but because he has the experience.
Yeah.
He's built the business. He can coach them on where they need coaching at. They're not going to discredit him because he's no longer active. You see what I'm saying? We see that in our culture.
Yeah.
We see that shit in our culture. Listen, we the biggest haters amongst ourselves. Now, I said it.
Yeah.
So you didn't say it. I just said it. You dig what I'm saying? So, that shit got to stop. You see what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So like, while they worried, I'm going to be sitting here.
Yeah. Don't drop the 20 no more, Mark. That's disrespectful.
Drop the 20?
Don't drop the 20 no more.
What you talking about?
What you been doing for the last 20 years. Don't drop that no more.
Oh, no. No, I'm going to use that from here on out. If I ever see a grown man that's worried about some shit that ain't got
Mark,
shit
you
to do
don't
with
know,
him.
man. I go through two divorces, Mark.
I
go through two divorces.
So check it out.
I got 3 kids and 2 of them put me in child support. Come on, Mark.
So hear me out, Kurt. That's fine, but the moment you start to worry about another man, then that's where the issue is. If you don't worry about another man, then that shit, you'll never get that. The moment you start worrying about another man, then like that raises it. Like, we gotta raise an eyebrow, like, brother. Because guess what? Hold on. It's people that had 2-3 kids and they still did what they had to do. That kid shit ain't got shit to do with it, Kirk. That's an excuse.
Yeah, but
that's an excuse for some people.
Some of these guys do with some of these women, man.
Hold on. Some people use that as an excuse.
Vindictive like some of these guys.
Hold on. I've seen men have kids and still do the same shit. That's an excuse. You dig what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, life is about choices and decisions. You could use that, but then the question would be like, well, then you made the wrong choice.
You think so?
Man, I know so.
I disagree with you. I think that, some of these guys people change. They might end up, You don't know, because let's say somebody thought the marriage was gonna go, a certain way, and then whatever happened, and then they lose everything. Then they have to start over.
That's an unforeseen.
No, they got bad credit. They ain't got no money. The mom, the kids not. You know what I mean? They have to start all over.
That's an unforeseen situation. That's unfortunate.
But that's what I'm
But
saying.
like
Some of those
we
people developing, turning
okay,
haters of
but
other people that are
well
ahead
then
of
see
them.
what if you got the hate in your blood.
Mm-hmm.
If you got hate in your blood, it don't matter what your circumstance is. You shouldn't be hating. You should not have that energy. Is too. It's one is too negative, and two is it's got to be draining.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be draining. Like you could use that energy that you are exuding to hate on somebody else, and you can transition that hate into something that's more positive, and then you'll see doors start to open for you that you listen. Every single door for me, right, from the final mile side, like I can the moving thing. I think that was kind of entered in right time, build, had a good plan, a good strategy, right? So I can't think off the top of my head where just things were just brought to me. But the final mile side, from the inception of the business to majority of the big major contract, all those were brought to me. Like they just came to me. I didn't go out and seek. Some contracts I did, but the first one, the cross docking, a lot of the major ones they just landed on my lap. You see what I'm saying? So I think my exit was a blessing, because that was a once in a lifetime thing. Luckily, I was in a position. It was a blessing I was in a position. What if I wouldn't have done things the right way and would have just did things foolishly?
Right.
God helped me make the decision that I made. I think the content creation, even though my two buddies, kind of talk to me about, maybe you should do this, man, so you could provide a lot. But ultimately, I think God is what, kept me doing it. God and, people close to me, you know what I'm saying? Because there's been plenty of times I'm like, the hell with it. Recently, I'm like, man, the hell with this shit. That's why I've kind of fell back on my content. I'm like, man, these dudes tweaking. Like, they really think like they talking all this goofy shit. They really must not know. Hey, Kurt, they must not know. Like, I'm finna go kick it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I think a lot of the shit that I do is, is God is driving me to do it. So, yeah, it ain't that. I just think it was something that you wanted to talk about it because you were angry. You was hot. You know what I'm saying? And I know
you got to just use it as a learning point too. It's a part of you as an individual, and it is gonna happen. How you respond. You see everybody tell you tonight the same thing I told you when I first spoke to you, that you respond well. You know what I mean? So
appreciate that, Ricardo.
That's just something.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I think it was best to just, that day. And if it happened again, I would respond the same way. Like, I'm not gonna get like, we talk this religion on the table, even though it wasn't like I was just, there.
No, people like to say religion. And I hear people say this a lot. You can have a debate about religion, and there's no animosity once you know what you're talking about. The problem with religion is people they come based on their flesh. You get what I'm saying? And their own ability to explain stuff, and that's where the clash starts. You know what I mean? So that's why people don't do it. People don't get into it. People don't talk about it because it's just, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah.
But all right, this is to bed. You know, we
Yeah,
had a
man.
good conversation.
Yeah. You know,
We've
it was
allowed some
good.
people to come up and talk about it, and
I see 5-star logistic over here.
5-star part of In the House gang. It's a lot. We got some In the House.
What do you mean by In the House gang? He's a part of the
Yeah,
he's a mole over here.
He's 40. He's 45. Retired. Look, he retired.
He's in the hold on. Is he in the Discord?
Yeah.
Oh man, you can't trust that guy. You let him in.
No,
Who
5 stars.
that Isaiah.
Dude, 5-star has been a part of the Discord since day one. Damn near. Like, he's a good guy.
He's not a good guy. He's not a good guy, Mark. Mark, you trust that guy? I do not trust that guy.
Didn't you say he emailed you a few months ago?
He asked me a question, but
okay,
he's 5-star.
He's seeking knowledge. When I say he's a good guy, listen, 5-star is not. He's not a person that. He's. Listen, 5-star is a straight shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he watches other content creators. So what? Doesn't like I'm not like he gets knowledge from.
I don't know about 5-star.
Kurt,
man.
you gotta stop. You gotta stop being like that, Kurt. You gotta stop being like that. I know why you don't like 5-star, because you're part of the In the House gang.
No, I like 5-star. I just don't know you approve him coming in the Discord.
Why would he? He ain't did nothing to me. What is Kurt talking about?
I'm just messing with 5-star, man. You go and see him. Go put something in the chat. Yeah, you better don't come down to the Amazon in Virginia no more. In Virginia Beach, the worst Amazon. But yeah, man, it was a great discussion, man. We had I think we had, appreciate everybody for coming up. Appreciate the chat. Appreciate everybody coming and giving their point of view. I think, we had a great discussion, man. And, it is what it is.
All right.
See what I'm saying?
All right, man. So, all right. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. And episode 6 is in the books. Until next time, we out. Peace.
Peace out.